We're back. Let's see how it's going. By the way, I don't know what happened with YouTube, but it opened up 2 separate streams when I went live, so I had to delete one of them. So I think YouTube might be having a few little weird issues. It did the same thing a while ago. It opened up a random stream when I went live, so I had to delete one of them and then keep the other one going. So yeah, God knows what's going on with YouTube, chat, but it literally did 2 streams. I went click create stream, did it, clicked on it, 2 separate ones opened up, and I was like, what? So yeah, who knows what's going on with YouTube? Very weird. But yeah, the first stream had issues with connection. I presume it's a YouTube issue. I've run tests on my internet that my internet's running fine. So there was no issue on our end. I'm just running as usual. Through the Ethernet, it's getting 920 downloads, so that's what I normally get. So there's no problems with the actual connection for me. It must be something on YouTube's end. So we'll have a little look and see. We'll go and watch a replay and just keep an eye on it, because let me just keep an eye on. It says excellent connection now, but it kept changing before. So yeah, it could just be a weird YouTube problem with the connection, but we will try again. I'm just having a protein drink. What we'll do is we'll have a little look at the replay chat from that race and have a little look at that first incident with the Spanish driver. I remembered it was a Spanish driver, wasn't it, that took someone out? And then we'll go and watch Nations in a bit. So Nations starts in just over 20 minutes. So we'll go and have a little look and see what happens. Oh, Mrs. is on her way home. Right. Let's have a little look at this chaos, because the Spanish driver absolutely annihilated him twice, didn't he? I want to see what the reason was. So it was this guy here. He killed him. Let's go and fast forward until he's got the 3-second penalty. Right, wait there. There's right there, right. So he's behind me the whole race, right? So what could be the reason for this, right? So is there something previous to it? Because John Doe is in front of him the whole race here. Right there. Okay. And what happened to this guy here? Wait there. Red light. He was waiting for the red light. Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? That's not going to work. By the way, chat, remember this is a new stream, so you need to hit that like button again for the second time. Otherwise, yeah, it doesn't remember you the first one. So you need to hit that like button a second time, because the first stream is over now, because we had to do a new stream. So get that like in there. Helps me out, chat. This was optimistic, I'd say. Going around the outside there was really... I mean, I don't think that was ever going to work. Yeah, that was a bit of a crazy move, to be honest with you, that. So, we're looking at this guy. Something happened. So this John Doe clearly... There's your answer why he did it. So that's why the Spanish driver did what he did. That was on purpose, wasn't it? No, you got 2 notifications because there was a bug. 2 streams went live. I had to delete one of them. So I got 2 separate streams, like with one. It was weird. So YouTube, I don't know what's going on. Looks like it's bugged. So when I went live, 2 separate streams opened. One with no settings and one with the one that I'd pre-set up. So yeah, God knows what's going on with YouTube. Right, let's... So it was... He gets his revenge here, doesn't he? So he gets close enough now, and now he's going to get his revenge on him. So... There's me on the inside. Now, he just goes and punts him straight off there, which hits into me. And then... He gets a 3-second penalty and he's like, right, I'm going to wait for him and do it again. That's a different driver. Wait, that's not the John Doe, though. He takes out the other guy. He takes out this guy. What was that for? I don't get why did he get that guy though? So why did he get him? This guy, this is the guy that crashed and was at the red light. So why did he kill him? I don't understand why he killed this guy though. What was the reason for that? That was so uncalled for. And then the last lap was just... Yeah, that last lap was just like crazy. Like tempo there just lost his... I don't know, that was just not needed at all because the guy didn't even do anything. Like if you watch it, if you watch the whole incident, right, tempo's gone too deep. At this point now, he needs to keep a wide line. Look, the car's on the inside. He's keeping it as tight as he can, and he's got the inside line. Tempo needs to keep the wide line so he's got space, but continues to shut the door on him. He does nothing wrong, this guy. And then Tempo just goes absolutely crazy. No, the nation starts in a bit. Nation starts in about...
I am all for a tech detox. We're getting the kids to embrace the great outdoors.
Ah, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Well, maybe not impossible.
1 minute, what's this?
When you've got a giant swing.
YouTube just opened... YouTube just opened up an advert. What the hell was that? I like the music though. Let me go and check that. It was YouTube. I had it on YouTube ready for the... It must have been the thing starting. It must have been the stream for the nation starting off with an advert. Let me go back to that. Oh dear. All right, so we want that there. I'll get it ready now so that we're pardon me, so we're ready for it. All right. Let's go and find the... No, we don't want that. What's it doing? So we want Gran Turismo. Where are you, Gran Turismo? I've just got to find the Gran Turismo on my page. I just had to delete that because I didn't know what the hell was going on. Where's it gone? There it is. Right. And we want the English version. Right, we'll pause that. We'll get that up. We want... Right, 1440p. We don't want 4K because 4K goes weird with the frame rate. Put it on live. It's got 15 minutes to go, so I'll mute it for now. Then I'll put it back on. Over there, you're home early.
Cut me off.
All right. But yeah, what? That's the top that Evil Merlin got me from Road America, the racetrack. You got me a top on there, sent it.
Nice. Oh, that's lovely. That'd make a gorgeous bed top for me, that.
You won't be with your cheeky sod. Did you hear that? Evil. She was like, that'll make a gorgeous bedtime top for me. She loves tops like that. She was like, that'll make a gorgeous bedtime top for me. Like, you won't. What?
Stick it inside.
Oh, I didn't see that bit.
Well, you need to open presents correctly then, don't you?
Hands are freezing.
Cool.
I did show it before, SDS. I did, I showed everyone before. I didn't see this, like, what's this bit? Sticker inside. I didn't see that bit, Evil. Is it?
Scissors.
Yeah, I need scissors. Sellotaped it good and proper. I didn't see the sticker, Evil.
Be able to put that somewhere in your setup downstairs.
No, Evil, man. What sellotape do you use? Alright. Oh, I see. It's got the Road America sticker on it. Hey, we'd be able to keep that safe. We'll have to put that on something when we move the setup. Keep that safe though, so I don't lose it. But yeah. So I did show you before, didn't I? This is the oh, wait there. I'll show you in big screen. So Road America, we love Road America. Can you see it there?
The perfect nighttime top.
It's not it is not for you or mummy. It's for me.
Okay, but when are you like?
I'll wear that on a stream.
Can you go and pick what you want for your tea?
Yes, I can.
Right, that back on. Right, we still got like 10 minutes or so, I think, before the before it goes live, chat. So what we'll do is we'll come out of there because we can't do any racing. We'll go and join the actual. We will go and join and watch the. Let me put that on there so it doesn't play. We don't want it to start playing the replay stuff. Right, so I'll get this on. Let me get that on for you lot so you can see that we'll just double check the audio again because the audio might have changed. You know what, when they do these events, they sometimes alter the audio. So, right, let's get that on. I'll put the audio on. Right, let me put the audio to max setting. Like, just let me know if it. Let me put. Right, we're already on 1440p, so that's perfect. Right, let me know what that audio sounds like that's on there now. It'll give me a rough idea. Just makes me want to dance, chat. I would love a Watkins Glen one. If anyone's going to Watkins Glen, that should be the new thing. People need to get me all the American racetracks. I love loads of American racetracks. I would love to get another track on Gran Turismo 7, but I wouldn't put money on it, chat. Would not put money on it. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see with that one. Oh, my hands. Freezing outside here, you know. I've got the window open because I have to have a bit of fresh air in, but how it's cold. Oh, you going Watkins Glen, are you, Robert? Nice. Nice. You're right, Dingleberry. By the way, chat, we did get 69k in the first stream. I think we are on... Let me have a little look. I can't even get my channel up. What the heck is going on? We are on 69,009 subscribers. Hey, chat, look. Remember... Look at this, right? So, what was the point of this co-streaming thing? Look at this. Look what I'm going to show you straight away. So, By the way, as well, Robert, not Robert, Russell. Russell did a super thanks on the video last night, chat. He did a super thanks, so thank you very much for that. You'll probably see it on my phone. But so look what's happened from the first stream. Remember they said about co-streaming, you need to put these details in, and I said I doubt it's got anything to do with copyright. Look at the top page. Look at the top. I knew it would happen. I knew it would happen. I knew that exact same that would happen. This is not a copyright strike. This is just because you've got music on and they'll just take the monetization off you.
Se dovessi descrivere le GT World Series a chi non le avesse mai viste, direi che sono il distillato in giro per il mondo di questo campionato.
Are we on the English one?
Tranne la Forza G, ci sono i piloti, lo spettacolo e
Are we on the English one, chat?
bella da vedere.
1 minute, let me put that
As
on so you can see.
viagens, né, os eventos em si mesmo, para mim representa muito o que eu acho do game, minha
I
paixão
think
pelo
we're on the
game.
English one. I'm
Então,
pretty sure
eu
we
acho
are.
que
Yeah.
os eventos,
We
conhecer
are.
novos lugares, para mim é muito importante.
Pues lo que me ha enseñado a ser jugador competitivo de Gran Turismo es que cada año hay más nivel en este juego y cada vez
I think we
se
are on the
necesita
English
más
one.
esfuerzo para ser
I definitely
el
am.
mejor aquí en Gran Turismo.
I'll double check.
ネー
But
ション
1
ズカッ
minute.
プは去年に比べて今年は個人戦になったのでより
Let me just double check, but I'm pretty sure we're on the English
良く
one.
なったなと思いますし、マニファクチャラーカップについてもラウンド1から3は各地域の選手が活躍できるようになったので、そのフォーマットもすごい良かったかなと思っています。
1 minute. Let me just come out of this. What's wrong with my phone? What's wrong with my phone? Well, what's wrong with my phone, Rob? An iPhone 14. It's not that. Well, it's fairly old, but it's not that old.
Experience, just being able to interact with the other
Let me just
drivers,
check.
having that sportsmanship, and just kind of building.
Yeah,
up to
we're
it
on the
throughout
right
week.
one,
Just
chat.
something
We're on
that
the
you
right
really
one.
can't recreate in,
It's
in
just
another game.
まあ、2018年
Yeah,
はそういう
we're
シ
on
ーン
we're on the
ですけれ
correct
ども
one.
今年で7年目になります。なので、はい。まあちょっと、そうですね、去年はちょっとあまり経過を残せなかったので、今年は、ネーションズは4
Alright,
年
put
分
it
のチ
back
ャン
on
ピオン、
now. 1 minute.
マニアックチャールズは2年分のチャンピオンというところを目指して、今まで頑張ってきました。
Yeah, I was gonna
I think
say
one thing
we're on the
fans
right
don't
one.
see is the level of dedication they put into these events. What are they, 8 hours a day practicing to get here?
And the mad thing also is that the sense of community is that they're outside of the rigs, they're all good friends, they're all giving each other tips how to go faster. But when they get in the rigs, they all hate each other. It's brilliant.
I'm gonna have to shut that window, chat. It's freezing. It is absolutely freezing outside. Flipping June and it's that cold.
The live audience is really different than 2022 because now the public is something more for the events. For me, it's like motivated me a lot because I like the public, I like the spectacle. This year we go to 3 countries and you can see the difference of people for the countries, and I like it so much Japanese because it was really cute to take a picture or something. This is really nice.
I think the most important part of the World Series is the audience, because they are who make this bigger, and especially see the atmosphere of how people.
Yeah,
live
I
our-
did say
our
that
days and our
you'll still get the
We have
copyright
seven
claims on your
languages,
streams,
commenting
even with
live
this
on
like.
every event.
So
We
I
have
put my
local
name down as
hosts,
co-streaming. So
example in
Gran Turismo,
Tokyo,
there was a
which,
proper
really
website to do this now.
welcome and
You had to do a
warm
Google
to the
form
local
to do
audience.
co-streaming
That's
of this
really cool,
race.
and
So
not in
we're
another
allowed
esport
perfectly
event you
like
can see that.
literally allowed to do what we're doing. However, you still got the copyright claim for the audio because the audio isn't owned by Gran Turismo or Sony. So the people that own that audio, copyright striking it. Not a strike, so it's not a copyright strike, it's a copyright. Basically, they'll take any revenue from your app. So any revenue from this stream will be taken. Any advertisement revenue, not super chats, obviously, just advertisement revenue will go to them, but it doesn't really affect us that, to be honest. We only lose out. We'll only lose out on like about £10. It's not too bad. Rob, thank you for the $2, legend. Copyright this. Oh, and Cat Treats, Miss Kitty. Smash that legend emote there for Rob, chat. Appreciate the support. Yeah, it'll only lose us about. It's just a copyright claim for the audio. It's because they use music in these streams, and it copyrights. The owners of it. It's an automatic system, so there's nothing you can do. You just lose out on the revenue from the adverts. That's all. Worth about. I mean, off that first stream, probably lose about £7 to £10. It's not the end of the world. Stream having hiccups? I don't know.
This race is about to begin. What will happen as the 12 drivers come across?
Is it? Oh yeah, it's doing it again, chat. YouTube's doing it again. It's doing it again. It's doing it again, chat. I've just checked it. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. My internet's fine. Got no issues with the internet. I'm doing a Wi-Fi test now and it's fine. Yeah, I think it's showing up as an error again. On my end, it's showing up as a problem. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience issues. It must be a YouTube problem for my stream.
今年はライブイベントを始めて2年目になってリブートして2年目になって
Yeah, it'll do it again. It's going to happen a few times in the stream chat by the looks of it. It looks like it's going to do it a few times because there must be some sort of issue going on with YouTube. It's definitely got issues. He's right because I've got it in front of me. It says there's an error on it. It's got to be. It says good again now, but it keeps popping up an error every now and then. So there's obviously some YouTube problems. It's not my PC, no. Nothing to do with the PC. The PC won't get affected off streaming from YouTube. PC's fine. It's a YouTube problem because Streamlabs is running fine. No issues on Streamlabs. The issue's coming from YouTube's end, so it's not on Streamlabs. It's on YouTube's end. It says on there there's an issue with you like thingy, so nothing we can do. Nothing we can do. It's not Streamlabs, oh Susie. It's nothing to do with Streamlabs. It's YouTube. Like it'll be it isn't Streamlabs. It'll be something from YouTube's end playing up. Have I froze? I'm all right on my end, chat. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, chat? Or because everything's fine on my. I'm moving okay on here. Chris, can you see me waving at you, Chris? I don't know what's going on. I think. So why is some people saying it's frozen? Wow, YouTube's got big problems. I've just clicked on something there and it's completely messed up on here. Yeah, it looks... There's definitely issues with YouTube, chat, because YouTube keeps changing, like, whether it's a good connection or a bad connection. I don't know whether this is going to last very long. We'll give it a go, chat, but I might not last for too long here because... It looks like there's problems. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But I predict there's going to be issues with the stream. Yeah, you're the biggest one, Lucas. No, there was issues, Paul. There 100% is. YouTube keeps coming on. There's an error. Then it says excellent connection. And then YouTube then says there's an error. And then it says excellent connection again. So there's obviously a few problems going on.
A very good evening and welcome to London for Gran Turismo World Series.
This guy with the red top on there standing out, look. The guy in the middle with the red top, everyone else.
Are here tonight. All the way from Australia, please give it up for Guy Barbara.
Alright, this would be interesting. I think Josetti's going to be the... I just have a feeling about Josetti.
It's Takuma Sasaki.
I'd like to see Josetti get a win here as well.
Next, welcome the fast Chilean Angel Inestrosa. Please welcome the buoyant Brazilian Adriano Carrazza.
Aphelion is very quick at the moment, but it's the X2019.
Give it your all for the Canadian Samuel Cardinal. Fast and fearless from the Netherlands, it's Kai de Bruyne.
That's with the flex. Listen, man, I'll show you a flex.
Part of the 2023 trio of champions from Spain.
How old is Pole going grey, or is that me? How old is Pole?
Also a former world champion from Italy, it's Valerio Gallo.
And I thought I went grey young. I mean, I went grey. I started going grey in my 20s, to be fair. Like mid-20s, I started seeing greys. Top, yeah, that's what it is, Paul.
Compatriot Killian Drummond.
Hey, do you reckon they're told what they've got to do? Like, someone has to flex, someone has to punch. What's the next one going to do? Let's see.
Also part of the Nations Cup Championship trio of 23. Give it your all for Spain.
They're definitely told what to do, aren't they? Look, they've all got their own little thing to do.
Last but not least, the champion not once but twice, and the most recent from Japan, it's Takuma Miyazono!
Was that like waving the flag?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to stand, if you're able, please, for the national anthem of our host
Shut
nation
up,
here
you Pio.
in the
Don't
United
give them
Kingdom.
ideas. Do not give PD ideas, Pio. Whatever you do. Please don't give them any idea of putting emotes into the game. Jesus Christ. Long live... I ain't gonna sing. I don't know all the words now. Richard.
Well, the Nations Cup is a battle battle of national pride. Unlike the Manufacturers' Cup, it is all about
yeah, as you go
international
past.
glory and independent glory for our drivers. Really looking forward to this one. 12 of the very
In VR, out the window.
in the world of Gran Turismo are here tonight. 9 of whom qualified in the online qualifiers to be here. Jimmy, I can't wait for this one.
Well, as you said, we have 12 of the best Gran Turismo drivers here in the world ready to put on a show for you guys. We've got Takuma Miyazono, who did so well in the Manufacturers' Cup that we just saw there as well. We have Hoda Serrano, Kylian Drumont, all these guys incredibly quick. So looking forward to seeing how things pan out.
Absolutely. Well, let's kick things off then, shall we, and talk to our most recent Nations Cup world champion. Takuma Miyazono is down on the floor with Jules.
Hi, yes, we are down here and ready to kick things off. But
Okay,
before
now
we
she
get
got
right into
changed.
it, we thought we'd have a chat with like one of our, I don't think oldest, but like our longest serving drivers, with one of our fresh new ones. Yes, Samuel Cardinal, this is your first time. You've been waiting to hit 18 to come and compete because you've been really fast online.
I'm saying
It's
nothing.
been a couple of years, really great to be here. Thanks for the invitation here. Definitely will try to kick it for the first one.
I think you're going to do good. It's a very friendly, a competitive yet friendly atmosphere. But Takuma, you know, you've
No
raced
bomb
so many
drafting is
times for us
allowed.
now. What advice do you have to Samuel for his first one?
もうレースは百戦錬磨ですけど、宮園さんから
Has anyone watched the film Boss Baby?
はい、やっぱちょっと家とそのモニターの見方とかが違うと思うので
Just like, has anyone watched that film Boss Baby?
あとは遅延とかかな。まあその家との環境の違いっていうのを意識しながら、なるべく意識してやるといいんじゃないかなと思うんですけど、早く練習したいです。はい。
Yeah. So yeah, it's good to really take note of the differences in how the monitor appears.
Listen, Pio.
Compared to home and at the venue.
Stephen knows. Stephen knows.
The latencies can be a little bit different. So that's something that you want to be able to compensate for.
The Killing is on Channel 4 now. If anyone wants to watch it, The Killing is on Channel 4. Catch up, you can watch it, and then you can come and tell Pio he knows nothing about TV.
Very important. But Samuel, I believe your dad is somewhere in the crowd. Steve, where are you?
Yeah, he's just there.
Oh, hi, Steve. Everyone say hi, Steve. Is your dad proud that you made it here? Because I mean, this is tough to get into. This is not an easy competition at all. Is he proud of what you've accomplished so far?
I think he's definitely proud. It's been a long way, so very glad he's there. Thank you for the invitation for him too. I'm glad he's glad.
You could have done it for free if you lived in the UK, Pio, and watched it on Channel 4.
From them at home, they're watching, so thank you guys.
Oh, it's going to be great. You're going to have a lot of fun.
Did you not like Boss Baby? Yeah, it wasn't the best ever one, but I did watch it to the end, I think.
First time out. Okay, let's go over to the campaign and figure out how that's going to lay out. Don't forget that you can get involved with
I feel like this race is going to have some chaos.
With the bonus campaign. Just click on the Winners Campaign banner on the GT7 world map, and that's going to give you the chance to win 1 million credits by predicting who's going to win. Just think of all the stuff you could buy with that.
Is
Don't forget,
YouTube
you
playing
can
up
enter a vote
again?
right up until the start of each Grand Final. Good luck. Watch the World Series broadcast through your GT7 game.
Is it?
And you'll unlock some
I can't
special
tell. On my
in-game
end, it's
rewards
saying it's
through
okay,
the
but let me go to.
campaign.
Let me click on
Watch the
live and it
Nations
might
Cup
mess
live
up.
stream, and you'll be gifted an Aston Martin Valkyrie with the winning country's livery. Tune in and claim your rewards.
It's not saying anything on my end yet.
So yeah, some great
I think
stuff
YouTube's
that
having
you can win just
yeah.
by being part of the GT family.
I think
Now, if you
YouTube's
missed
got.
any of
I
last
think
year's
YouTube's
action,
having issues,
let's
chat.
have a little bit of a recap. Let's get up to speed, shall we? Come on then.
Hello, welcome back to the Gran Turismo.
See, some people are saying it's fine, and some people are having issues. So I think there's some problems with YouTube.
It's pretty much everyone for themselves.
I think it's just depends where you live, whether you're getting a good stream or not, chat. By the sounds of it, some people it's running fine, some people there's issues. And we had issues in the first one at the end. It looks like YouTube's got some YouTube issues as usual. Yeah, that's what I think, Chris. It's just YouTube. Nothing I can really do because my internet's running fine. I've just done a test before and there's no issues, so who knows. To be fair, I'm getting issues like sometimes every now and then this stream's going a bit weird, but
Round two had a few more prizes
Right
up
there.
its sleeve.
What the hell? 1 minute.
Right now, squabbling for
Let me just check something, because it looks like my PC might have opened something. Let me go on. One second, chat. Let me just close this. Close that. Why is it doing that? Something.
Round 3 in Tokyo did not disappoint.
Why has it done that? My PC's doing some mad shit.
More and more intense.
Why is that? Come on.
Every single point.
That shouldn't be on. Right, 1 minute, chat. Let me try. What are you doing? It's. I can't even get. Right. Play. Right, back on. Being weird. It looks it was trying, my PC was opening there's a new thing they've added on Windows 11 on the bottom. I don't know what it is. It was opening that. See how it goes, chat. Hopefully it survives. If it doesn't, then not much we can do. Hopefully they fix it for tomorrow, though, because although I don't know if we'll be streaming tomorrow, I don't know. I want to get the new office space painted at some point, so I might start getting that sorted soon. Might start that tomorrow.
World Series Round 1 Nations Cup. It's all about national pride, and I've got to say, I am feeling a little bit of that, but that's probably because we're here in my hometown. Now, as you can see for the Nations Cup recap, it was pretty spicy last year. Obviously, we had Miyazono, who was always on like incredible good form. But, you know, Tremont was not so far behind. Like, he could almost taste it. And I think, like, what we're trying to see this year is whether he can kind of keep his cool under pressure and get that win that he's been aggressively chasing over the past few years. What do you think? Do you think he can do it? Well, okay. I mean, Miyazono's pretty strong, so we'll
not
have
much
to see
enthusiasm there, was there?
Yeah, you're going to see some fantastic racing. Let's have a little bit of a look at the competition format. The Nations Cup features the best 12 drivers in the world from the 2025 online qualifiers. 9 countries are participating in the Nations Cup World Series this season. Spain, France and Japan are the most represented countries with 2 drivers each. All of the drivers will get the chance to set a time over a 1-lap attack to determine the grid for the sprint race. In the sprint, drivers will get behind the wheel of the Aston Martin Valkyrie, and how well they perform will determine their spot for the start of the grand final. All 12 drivers will battle it out in the grand final.
What's the
with
matter?
only the top 6 securing.
You're allowed to stream it. I've literally
on top of getting 6 points.
What are you on about?
First place gets a shiny trophy and is declared the winner of round 1 in the Nations Cup World Series 2025.
What are you on about?
Well, that's the competition format, and here are the stops on the 2025 Gran Turismo World Series.
Is something wrong with the stream chat?
Tonight here in London. In September, we go to Berlin for round 2, and then it's all the way over to the west coast of the United States of America as we head to Los Angeles at the beginning of November. And then the season is bookended by
Can you stop,
the World
like,
Finals in Fukuoka. The last
you need to be serious,
right
chat. Like,
before Christmas.
what's going on? Is there any issue with the
Look at
stream?
these cars here this weekend. We're at the Television Centre, the former home of the BBC. Some amazing cars on display. JB, you in particular, loved that Toyota.
Yeah, we have this gorgeous Valkyrie.
It's done
here.
it again on my PC on the bottom though.
Show
Look,
me
1
the
minute.
box in the background. Show me the Corolla.
It's
awesome cars out front, including a very, very pretty RX-7 as well.
Yeah, it was hugely exciting.
Let me
to
just
see all
check
of those
something
cars.
here.
It's just everyone fawning over them as well. The thing is, I was looking at that Valkyrie saying, there's no way you can get that over a speed bump, but actually the nose does raise up. Apparently it looks like an off-roader or something.
Yeah, I have no idea how I got it still. But,
Not the sort of car I'd like to take to Tesco.
I'm just glad it wasn't me who had to drive
Yeah,
it.
I think YouTube's having an absolute hissy fit today, chat. I don't know what we're going to do here. I don't know if it's worth continuing or not. Like,
Speedway circuit.
it just seems to be playing off.
2019 cars. It is no mean feat. So one flying lap to set.
There's nothing updating, Cameron, man. There's nothing updating. Don't have anything in the background, mate. Nothing's on in the background.
But then Androna Karatsa came over and bettered them by a 10th.
I mean, I'll just double check.
Yeah,
Let me
Karatsa's
just.
always been good in these cars, but he didn't seem too happy with his
There's
time.
literally the only thing that could, Xbox is on, but that won't be doing it.
Very good.
OBS, I'll get rid of that. That won't be doing it. There's nothing updating.
25.2, good enough for the time.
Nothing update.
But no one seems very happy, do they, Tommy? His provisional poll doesn't seem to care.
No, it was all eyes on Jose Serrano.
Put
He
it
was
back
one of
on.
the last drivers to
There's
set
literally
a lap
there's
time
nothing
that
on in the
session.
background.
Spaniard
Nothing
was
at
on
all.
an absolute flyer. A 10th of a second was the advantage he picked up in the final sector, and he carried that all the way to the checkered flag to claim provisional pole position in the qualifying session. You can see what it meant for the young Spaniard. His compatriot there, Paul Euro, also giving him some kudos as well. We wait to see, though, what the reigning world champion Takuma Miyazono would be able to do. Would he be able to depose him at the end of that session? Well, it was a bit of a scruffy lap in the end from Takuma Miyazono. He lost time in the middle part.
Yeah, I
of the
think
lap,
YouTube's having problems today. It's unfortunate it's happening today because we haven't had any issues for ages, have we, on YouTube? So.
Yeah, but Serrano,
Strange.
of course, evidently very happy. Someone very quick last year in Nations Cup in 24, looking to do well here in 25. And here are the qualifying results as they are in full. The two Spaniards, Serrano and Nura, booking out the front row of Karatsa and Drummond in third and fourth, respectively. Levutele and Inestroza there, fifth and sixth. Good qualifying from Inestroza.
I don't know what's going on.
Cardinal down there in 12th place. I know he's last on the grid, but he's only a 10th of a second away from some very regular drivers in the GT World Series.
He won't like that, Tom.
No, of course he won't. But still, you know, I don't think that that's a bad result at all for him there. Let's have a look, though, at the sprint race, because it is all changed. No X29 teams and no Grand Valley Highway to worry about in the sprint race. We now change over to the Aston Martin Valkyrie.
Oh, so wait there. This is like multiple combos, isn't it?
The Circuit de la Sarthe.
5
laps of this one. It's going to be a slipstream battle, surely.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hang on a minute.
There's no mandatory tyre change, so it's just
this must be a long session, the longer Nations, mustn't it?
Slipstream Central. We've got 3 or 4 massive straights around here, so car position is going to be very important.
Josetti, I said I think Josetti will win, but that doesn't mean.
You can use as well. So
don't know if I think I want Josetti to win. So I feel like he always gets. He seems to always get screwed.
Will be competing, and of course, we're in the United Kingdom. We've got to have an Aston Martin at some point.
I don't know what's wrong with YouTube, chat. It's stressing me out, but like I said,
with all the cars we've had on display.
It can't. I've checked my internet, and my internet's fine. So it's got to be something on YouTube's end.
Really, from the the X2019 in terms of power delivery, in terms of just the whole format of the car, really.
Well, look at that, 1,500 horsepower nearly. That is a lot of power. I ain't got to tell you that. I've been told that this car, with the battery help, can get up to.
Yeah, that was when Nations was
down the straight.
That was when Nations was a group thing.
Then add into that, trying to jostle the position with everyone around you. It's going to be hectic. It's going to be a fun one, this one.
Yeah, absolutely is. Looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. A 5-lap sprint, and as you said, no worries about tyre changes. What this race will do is determine the grid order for the grand final. So, of course, you want to be doing as good a job as you possibly can to get as high up the order as you possibly can. Drivers are getting their last bits of practice in ahead of this sprint race. So what do you think is going to be going through the mind of the likes of Jose Serrano? He's starting at the front of the grid. Is that an advantage, though, going into this?
That's the thing around it. We just spoke about slipstream. Being
I might do tomorrow, chat, off stream. I might get Le Mans Ultimate loaded up and
all the cars behind you. So
start having a little test with that. Also, I mentioned it in the first stream, but did anyone else watch the
further down the grid? Having this sort of toe act is a bit of an advantage.
Did anyone else watch the
make up some places?
Well, track limits
iRacing update news for the GT3s? Look, it does look promising.
And I think about half the grid had a half-second time penalty at one point or another. It's on the longest straight on the circuit where that penalty has to be served as well. So it can cost you, if the field's bunched up, 3 or 4 places.
Yeah, exactly. I think.
But yeah, I think I might jump on Le Mans Ultimate tomorrow and
maybe take a bit more curb than usual.
Have a little test. I'm gonna try and get the dynamo painted tomorrow as well.
In game, so there's no judge of fact. It's either you get one or you don't. So that's something that could really affect the racing here.
Got to give credit to Pio. He does come out with some shouts, doesn't he? He comes.
Former world champion Valerian Gallo. He's right behind Takuma Miyazono in 8th position, so he'll be hoping to make some forward progress from there. In terms of
Is it me or are their wheels shaking on the straight? Look.
Could have done better in qualifying.
Look at everyone's. It's doing. Remember at Le Mans chat with my wheel. Remember with what car was it? And we'll look at them. Look at them all on the straight.
So not a great qualifying session from him, but maybe we'll move forward.
What's going on?
We know we can do that. So
they've all got the same look.
Well, the field spread was incredibly close, half a second separating 12 drivers. I mean, that is very, very tight indeed. And indeed, 0.2 of a second separating the top 5.
It's Le Mans with certain cars. They pick when they're going in a straight line at certain speed. They start shaking like crazy.
Bit of preparation before we get into the race. Completely different.
Mine was doing it in the Group C race. Remember the Group C race when we had no chicane Group C, didn't we? It makes me think they've all got to run the same preset force feedback or something.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know if they get to change it.
Here in London, Gran Turismo World Series Nations
I don't know if they're allowed to change. I don't know.
For the grand final, it's about to get underway.
Could be interesting on the straight if someone gets bombed though with that force feedback. Someone gets hit or anything.
Grid then is lined up. Jose Serrano starts his one on pole position. Paul Ura, his compatriot, alongside on the front row of the grid. Adriano Carrazza from Brazil heads row 2, and he has got Kylian Drumont, the Frenchman, on home soil at the Circuit de la Sarthe company. Thomas Laboutelet heads row 3 in the Aston Martin, of course, and then it is Angel Inestrosa, 6th position on the grid. Takuma Miyazono, P7. He's the reigning world champion with Valerio Gallo.
Gallo down in PA.
Completing the top 10 is Guy Barbara, the Australian, and just on the fringes of it is Takuma Sasaki, who will be hoping for better fortune.
He's in P10, so he completes the top 10.
Lines up P11, the Dutchman, and then 12th position is the newcomer.
Tom went to the SDS School of Maths.
At the back of the field. So soft tyres for the drivers.
Sorry, SDS.
And a rolling start here, Jimmy.
Yes, not really much you can do in terms of strategy. It is just, as suggested, an all-out sprint race, all about pace here. So will we see the two Spanish drivers work together as we have in the past? Will we see Carrazza get into the mix, and will we see Miyazono move up? All remains to be seen, but 5 laps time.
All right, let's see what happens here
for the grand final.
Absolutely. How important is this for the grand final, Jimmy? Because the circuit we're going to be racing on, completely different in terms of characteristics.
Yeah, I mean, here
this car's not easy to drive as well in the braking zones. You have to brake really early with this.
Getting by someone there is completely different. So getting that qualifying position here is going to be super, super important.
Absolutely. Well, there is Guy Barbara. He's starting a bit further down the order than he would like. Let's see what forward progress he can make over the course of this one, as Jose Serrano leads the field to the timing line. Paul Ura follows him, and Adriano Carrazza, as we get the sprint race underway here. The Nations Cup Gran Turismo World Series in London is go.
This is going to be interesting with the braking zones.
The Dunlop curve, and as they head into the chicane, is anybody going to think about a move on the brakes?
Brake early.
Spreads the field out a little bit there, so there's no dive-bomb move.
They missed the brakes. Carrazza went over the corner.
Into the first corner, just sends the Brazilian a little bit wide and might leave him under a bit of pressure.
What tyres are they running? Racing soft, are they?
Serrano and Ura a bit more of a gap.
Are they on racing soft tyres here? Because they look like they've got insane grip. Look at the grip they've got. Carrazza's got dirty tyres, chap. Carrazza had dirty tyres.
These guys also have a battery to use too, so they're all into the battery right now, up to speed, 360 kph, 370, 380, like
oh my, what the? Look at this speed!
400 kilometers now,
400 kilometers an hour.
Down to the first Mulsanne chicane here, 3 wide. Someone's got to break first, and Dumont is on the inside of everyone.
Kylian, what a move. Oh, chaos.
Carrazza's everywhere. Carrazza's off, and he's off
chaos.
In a big way as well, right down to the back of the field. Inestrosa also caught up in some strife there, as well as he dropped right down the order.
So yeah, still going now as Dumont and Laboutelet have found themselves already with a 2.5 second gap from the Spanish cars ahead. So really, this is a great start for Serrano and Ura, but
Osetti and Paul.
Already out of
I mean, I'm going to be brutally honest, chat. You don't catch up 3 seconds. I mean, Kylian's there, but can he catch up that pace on Paul?
Down the bottom here.
That's a big lead for drivers like Paul and Josetti. Don't very often lose 2.5 seconds to anyone in 5 laps.
Nightmare start for him, Tom.
Yeah, not ideal at all for the Brazilian driver. He always seems to be in bother, and I don't think that was particularly of his own.
And they're pulling away.
Unfortunately. Meanwhile, further back you can see driver getting pretty close for company. Let's have a look and see what happens. So Drumont's going to send it through on the inside into this
Good
corner.
move by Killian.
Keep an eye out for Karatza, third in your picture.
Oh,
He lifts it
Karatza.
into the back then of
Karatza's fall.
Labutale,
Oh, and then
gets
someone
tagged
hit.
by Nostroza behind, who in turn gets hit by another driver there as well.
It was his own fault.
Might have been the one that started that off. I mean, it's quite difficult, but I
think that was Karatza's fault, wasn't it?
Kai de Bruin in 5th place has come up from second to last. So Kai de Bruin, the Dutch driver, with a fantastic
Speed
start.
of these
The battery
cars,
being
chat.
used, and you can see exactly what
Have they done like these cars are like flying?
that battery. And it's worked. The gap now up to 3.6 seconds from Paul Ura to Thomas.
They've used more of their
But now, of
battery,
course,
haven't
they're
they?
gonna be lacking that power for the next lap. So it might come back to bite them, but this is exactly what these guys want.
Absolutely, the two Spaniards clearly working together at this point in the race. The problem is that they're involved in a bit of a stalemate, really. They're sort of driving this race with their shoelaces tied together, and eventually a civil war is going to unravel between the two if it carries on as it is as we head in towards the latter stages, because of course they'll want to finish ahead of one another to get pole position ahead of the grand final.
I mean, ultimately, it is Nations Cup. It's every man for themselves. But you know, their compatriots, they would have spoken about this before the race, probably devised some kind of plan. And meanwhile, Labutale leading Killian Drumont, 3rd and 4th. Behind them, Kai de Bruin, great start from him. Sasaki as well, also up 4 places.
Look at the speed they're going through the corners.
That one. Miyazono, Inestroza,
What the heck?
and Karatza. Disaster again for Miyazono, our reigning champion, down in 9th position currently.
Yeah, Karatza down in 12th position there as well. So let's have on the top of the pops charts. We're going through them so quickly. Some drivers have made some big gains, and some have lost
these
out
cars
quite
are
significantly.
flying
Right
through
on
the
board, though,
corners,
with
Char.
Paul Ura, who will be trying to deploy what he's got left of that battery. We saw the two Spaniards using that and leaning on it quite heavily over the course of that last lap to try and build out that buffer whilst they all squabbled behind. So it's the two Spaniards, Serrano and Ura, that lead Labutale and Drumont.
I
And
think
then
that they're
all
just
gonna be light
they're
as
gone.
closing up
These
against
two
one
are
another
gone
as
at the
they head
front.
down the Mulsanne straight. Indeed, 3rd place has just changed hands there. Drumont now in front of Labutale.
Yeah, so these guys now in 3rd and 4th need to really work together, and they're going to catch this little pair in front. A reminder, the finishing positions of this race sets a grid for the grand final. The grand final is being set on a circuit which is much twisted and it's interesting. In the Labutale there, given a 1-second penalty. Maybe to hit part in
That sounds a bit wrong, that I does. I does sits 6 inches away from a 55-inch bush.
That does mean, though, when we get to the penalty line, oh, Serrano's gone deep there. And the second
Sounds wrong.
Now Paul Ura right back into the rear diffuser of Serrano's car. And just like that, the lead climbs back up again.
Yeah, so close quarters here between these two at the moment. So let's see whether Ura is going to think about finding his way through. If I were him, I'd just be sitting in his wheel tracks, waiting for those mistakes to creep in and just trying to use the advantage of that slipstream. You know, he's going to be saving his tyres.
Rosetti,
You can see
that's
Serrano
close to a
again,
penalty
bit
doing that.
wide through the right-hander there. And that's just
Time for a bit of gardening,
Look at
yeah.
the penalties that are being picked up here.
Oh,
De Bruyn's got
look!
one. Labutale has got a 1-second penalty there as well. So Labutale, we know that's for the contact. De Bruyn, presumably, that must be for track limits.
Man, these guys are just costing each other a chance at the win here.
Top two are gone here,
They
chap.
have no one to work with going on the straight here. Here is Kai
We'll
de Bruyn.
find out the lap times, I
Alongside
presume.
Alongside Thomas Labutale. Now, they'll come out of Arnage, which is the slowest
That's why you
corner
put
on the circuit,
TV up
right-hand
there.
here, and then immediately be hit with a 1-second slowdown where the brakes are applied automatically for 1 second. The car goes around, you can go through. Here it is. Here's the line. That's where sadness starts.
I presume they're not allowed to do the steering wheel movement.
Speed again. So just like that, Labutale and De Bruyn go back down to 7th and 8th position.
Yeah, Labutale means dropping down those positions means that Drumont loses his ally, essentially, doesn't he, there really as well. So those two cannot work together. Meanwhile, we see Serrano still under pressure here from Ura. The compatriot has not found his way past.
He did.
As it stands.
Wasn't
These two,
Paul
of
in the
course, they
lead
know how to
before?
work together as a team. They were part of the
I thought
Spanish
Paul got in the
lineup
lead
that won
briefly.
the Nations Cup back in 2023. And let's see how they unravel here in this race. Through the forward chicane we go, across the timing line, all ready to begin lap number 3. They get on the loud pedal.
Are you sure?
And on the back.
I swear he was in the lead for like one straight.
Absolutely loving this one. Miyazono's picking up a penalty, and also Barbara there as well. So these must be track limits penalties, because we're not seeing anything coming up on our screen saying that there is an investigation underway for any kind of contact or incident or something along the lines of that. So we were talking about it prior to the start of this race, Jimmy, and indeed it's coming true here now as well.
It's so easy
Did
to
he
pick
not?
up. Cardin's got one as well now. So 3 drivers
Oh,
currently out
rewind
there
the
now
screen.
with track penalties. And this is the thing, you're really trying to maximise everything around here. The level of this competition is just so high. So if you can just find that extra half a tenth somewhere on a curb, you're gonna take it. Yeah, all track limit penalties are being told there. So a real shame for those guys.
So, look at Takuma Sasaki. What about Valerio Gallo? Is he going to find his way through? Oh, hang on a minute. Here comes Yura as well, right on the back of Jose Serrano. Does he go for it? No, he doesn't. He backs right off going into the braking zone.
No, he backed off it.
Does he? I mean, like, if you're Paul Yura right now and you want to win this race, what you have to do is to stay behind Serrano, save your battery, and then just ambush him on the last lap, and there'll be nothing that Serrano can do about it. Although, who's to say Serrano isn't saving battery too? But these guys, they don't want to. Oh, there you go. We're seeing a change in position there. So Paul Yura now going up into the lead. That seems orchestrated to me. These guys definitely have a plan, don't they, Tom?
They've got to. No doubt about it. De Bruyne, meanwhile, has dropped down to 11th place. You were waxing lyrical about him on the opening lap there, Jimmy, and unfortunately he's now down in second but last. I think he was involved in some contact with Guy Barber potentially, who sent it to the inside. Yeah, the door was always going to close there, unfortunately, and it sent De Bruyne round like a tabletop, unfortunately. Oh, and it sent Barber into the wall there on the second phase of that Porsche curve.
No, that's a big repair.
That was not an overtaking place for Barber there.
On the back here of Takuma
Surely, did he get a penalty for that?
Corner.
Has to have got a penalty for that.
Sasaki a little bit wide onto the curb on the exit. That might compromise his run as we head up towards Indianapolis then. So Gallo in the wheel tracks, in the slipstream. He'll want to try and find his way through on Sasaki before too long. And indeed, he pulls alongside him now, looks for the inside.
Yeah, that's the best way to do, Damo. Just keep swinging.
Only
if you can get ahead before the braking zone and do it safely, and then give the slip and then keep doing that, and you will gain.
A second or so up the road. So Gallo, what he needs. Oh, he picks up a half-second penalty for track limits, though.
It's one of those things, isn't it? It's a shame for Gallo to get a penalty like that, but yeah, you've got to watch out. They all know where the limits are, and that's it. But that means Sasaki will be released. Sasaki up 5 places from his grid position. So a great start from the Japanese driver, but at the moment, it seems
he won't lose too much in this car with half a second.
Yeah, plethora of penalties coming in.
You're not allowed to bump in live events,
dashboard here at the moment,
which is right, really, isn't it? It's correct.
Exceeding the track limits, unfortunately. Yeah, definitely is. That's why I can't get higher cars anymore. Miyazono, meanwhile, he's not made much of an impact on this race, has he? Barber
3 seconds.
3-second penalty for his part in that collision with Guy De Bruyne that we saw last lap.
Just don't know how I feel about this. Like when you see that Kai's now down
positions here to
like in an impossible, like he's miles behind.
But, yeah, not ideal at all there for the Aussie.
Messy so far, really messy so far. I think
top 2 are just.
Everyone just knew straight away it was going to be just a job to try and stop the Spanish.
Did anyone see the overtake in the V8 Supercars, by the way? You reminded me because you said about Ocon. Did anyone see the overtake in the V8 Supercars on the grass? It reminded me of Ocon.
For everyone else now, it's just about trying to get another position, because as a reminder, these finishing the positions here for this race sets the grid for the grand final where points can be won. So obviously,
because
so much if you get up
in these events it's a bit more strict. In dailies they don't care about us normal players.
Serrano still exchanging places at the sharp end of this one. We're already on the penultimate lap here of this. It's pretty sensible up at the sharp end of this. Do you think it's just by its very nature, because it's been a sprint race, as to why this race has been, let's say, scrappier than we would normally see?
That is crazy, to be fair, Pia. Was that the electric car, though? Wasn't that electric car that flipping almost like a rocket-powered bloody go-kart, basically?
As does Barbara and Cardinal. Serrano taking the lead once again, back away from Paul Yura. I wonder if they are going to have a fight at the end, because ultimately they are against each other.
Of course they're going to battle.
A joint first place. There is one winner and one loser. Second place, just say, really. What do they say? If you ain't first, you're last.
Yeah, no points on offer in this race, just to remind you. As Jimmy said earlier on, it is all about the grid positions. And I wonder if there's going to be some dress rehearsals coming through in this penultimate lap, just to prepare us for what is to come at the sharp end of this one between Serrano and Yura. They've got to be careful and play it pretty safe. But you can see the advantage that Yura's got with that slipstream. Drags alongside Serrano as they go side by side into Indianapolis. And that was decisive and clinical there.
We've been here still.
I guess they're just trying to work out where their strengths and weaknesses
has anyone
are
else's stream ended then?
On the circuit, so as to be in the right position.
No one said any issues there, and everyone said it was fine.
Cars are so fast around here. 3-minute 4-second lap time from our leader last time around.
Yeah. I think it's just YouTube issues, isn't it? Just YouTube being a pleb.
Down to 3.3 seconds. It was nearly 4 seconds at the start of this lap, so he is starting to catch him. And as you can see, no battery left for Serrano or Yura. A little bit left there for Drummond, but Sasaki with half a battery. So he might be able to actually bridge that gap there to Drummond.
Yeah, he might be able to close it up a bit. I don't know if he'll be able to challenge for that podium position, but interestingly, out of the two at the front, Serrano has got 9% less than Jura at this point. So I wonder if that will pay dividends to Jura on this final lap. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it could make all the difference between passing and not passing for that race lead.
Yeah, I'm not aware of the specific amount of power the battery adds, but it's a significant push to pass. So if you have that in your arsenal, you are definitely going to do a little bit better than the guy who doesn't have it. So anyway, coming on to the last lap here in the sprint race, the Nations Cup.
Did someone have 56% battery there in P4?
Euro, Spanish 1-2.
Car in P4 had 54% battery still. P4 is going to get P3 here possibly because he's got all his battery to use.
Yeah, so down in towards this first sector we go. Coming on towards the Mulsanne straight. Now, this is where it has been pretty hectic at the sharp end of this one, and I would imagine that is set to continue. So Serrano it is that leads, but I guarantee Pol Jura is going to be all over his rear wing and his gearbox as we come onto this back straight, and indeed will probably try and find his way through as well. So onto the back straight we go, and let's see how Jura is going to play this one.
Like,
Serrano
since we've done this co-streaming thing, we actually we filled out a Google form to do what we're doing here today. The Gran Turismo actually, they put out a notice on X about it that you can do what we're doing.
Just seems to struggle on that mid-phase of the corner.
Since we've done that, we've had more issues today than we've ever had doing this, which is strange. Because before we used to just do it without, there was no like form. But since we've been like, we've asked for permission, we had to give our, so I had to give my channel name and my channel URL to do it. And seems to be I don't know if it's just coincidence, but
we'll see for the second
a lot of bugs and issues today since we've had to do that.
Mulsanne corner, one of the tightest corners on the circuit. You break from 400 kph down to a standstill.
You can change your prediction for this race. That's because this isn't the race that you're predicting, Rick. This is the first race. The last race is the Grand Valley Reverse, which is after this, I think. It's a race after this.
To the race lead, but the exit out of this one, the run in towards Indianapolis, is where we've seen moves being made. Is this going to be a pass from Jura on Serrano? So the slipstream for Jura, no slipstream for Jose Serrano. How much battery do they have left between the two of them as we come in towards this corner? And has Jura got anything left to try and find his way through?
They've got to be careful here because they can quite easily take each other out of contention here when they are in a comfy 1-2. So it's basically who wants first the most, I guess.
Surely Paul's waiting for this next straight.
Really are scrapping.
Paul just wants to get a good exit here.
Already up and down the field, but this really right here.
Rossetti floored it and got a good exit.
Serrano had a great exit there. Pol Jura really struggling for traction, but Jura is now on the battery and has the tow. The gap is coming down, but I don't think he's going to get there in time, Tom.
Yeah, so coming down into this final sector then, Serrano versus Jura. This is for pole position. The grand final! A late lunge to the inside there for Jura against Serrano, but the door very firmly shut by the race leader. They skimmed the wall on the outside, and now just two sets of chicanes remaining. And Serrano with enough of an advantage, unless he runs it wide or Jura goes for a dive bomb to the inside, but I don't think Jura's going to be close enough. Serrano has got track position. He's got enough in his back pocket to just cruise his way through these final chicanes. And unless he fluffs his lines, which he doesn't do so, it's Serrano running onto the ground on the exit of the final corner, but he does win the sprint race here in London.
Just nearly,
it's Serrano in front of Pol Jura.
Just nearly wiped Rossetti out.
Third place there on his home circuit.
What was he thinking? I think he's saying that was an accident.
What a great end to that one.
I don't think he meant to do that.
Sorry about that. I just sort of sent it in a bit. But there you go, the two Spaniards absolutely dominating the sprint race there. And that's something we've said before in the past, seen it in the past. These guys were all part of the 2023 Nations Cup Spanish team who won the Nations Cup that year in the free driver format. So very, very quick drivers in their own right. And of course, they're just showing off, basically.
Yeah, that was spectacular stuff from those two drivers. The upshot is it is Jose Serrano who will line up on pole position for the grand final in a few minutes' time. Great job from Pol Jura, great respectful rating. I have to say, I thought that was a heck of a lunge from Jura, but if indeed it was just a mistake and he just misjudged that corner, then, you know, fair play, those things do happen in racing, but really good respect.
Imagine they took each other out then.
Nothing less. I mean, Miyazono there, probably my I think disappointment. He didn't really come through there, did he? He had loads of problems and just didn't quite get the package together for the race. Here's a replay of a start. This is where basically the race was won. But the Spanish guys, Carrazza, Stroza, Miyazono, kind of Bruno, all getting together there with Carrazza.
Miyazono had a disaster as well, didn't he?
Straight away.
Unusual to see
absolutely
Miyazano
right.
down there, isn't it?
A great battle that we saw between the two Spaniards. They worked together so nicely while they were all beating each other up behind. Unfortunately, Guy Barbara managed to career into
It's
the
not
side.
over yet, remember? They've got the next race to
do.
do.
A 3-second penalty and was demoted right towards the back of the field. We wondered how this one would bubble up between the top two, whether the gloves would start to come off, but they were fairly respectful throughout. They were giving as good as they got. As we came onto the final lap, this was the move that Jura made on Serrano, but at the very next straight, Serrano was back through, and that is where he would stay until the checkered flag. I got a bit excited because he ran a bit wide at that final corner. Eventually, though, he would go through to be crowned as the winner. Let's go down and catch up with our winner. Jose Serrano is with Jules.
Wow, yeah, so I'm here with, this is 1 and 2. Jose Serrano and Paula. What were you messing about with at the end for? I mean, for goodness sake, is it really, got us very worried.
Was fantastic race, amazing. We worked with Paul, with the slipstream and with the battery. So yeah, so happy with the battery as well.
I mean, it was good, but it was a bit risky.
The XP's not updating, is it?
Nothing. I braked too late, so it wasn't on purpose. I was just trying to. I braked as always. He braked very early. I was scared, but in the end, nothing happened. So
We just thought you were being like a bit ballsy. We're like, that's a bit just right towards the end. You could really mess things up. But I mean, okay, you're right at the front. But obviously, going into this, who are you aside from each other? Kind of who's going to be your biggest competition? You think for the grand final?
Killian for sure.
Yeah. He's gunning for everyone.
He's so fast.
Oh yes. Yeah. How about you, Paul?
yeah, I think so. But not only him. There are many others. So no, I'm talking seriously. Like there are many others.
Well, look, you did great. You're starting obviously from the best positions you can. Good luck in the grand final. Let's give them a round of applause. Didn't they do really, really well? Let's chuck it back up to Tom and Jimmy.
Nice one. Cheers there, Jules. So, sprint race results then. Jose Serrano, Paul Jura are your top two. Dominant display from the Super Spaniards here tonight. Killian Drummond, though, third on the grid. He'll be pretty happy with that. Sasaki managed to elevate himself up from, 10th on the grid, up to 4th position at the checkered flag. Gallo moving his way up into 5th place. Laboutelet, he'll be disappointed given where he was running at the start of that one after the problems that he ran into. There'll be a few other drivers that have got a bit of work to do going into this grand final as well.
Yeah, really interesting hearing both Serrano and Paul Jura being like, Killian, he'll come get us. Yeah. they both have big respect for Drummond and the pace he has. And I have to say again, Miyazano really putting in a performance that we don't often see from him. P7 is not really where we're used to seeing him.
No, absolutely not. Let's see what's going to happen then as we head into the grand final. But before that, Fanatec have got something new coming along the way. Have a look at this.
Feast your eyes
Oh,
on
soon,
this.
sorry.
The latest CSL Elite Porsche Vision GT wheel from Fanatec. Fanatec have made this based off of the wheel from the Porsche Vision Gran Turismo concept car that you can drive in GT7. As you can imagine, it is an engineering marvel. It has a cast aluminium core built for
Do you know what? It
serious
looks a bit
feedback,
chunky for me, that wheel.
magnetic shifters
Like,
that keep that stunning
don't know how I'd
detail
feel about it.
design. Jose Serrano, who drives for Porsche in the Manufacturers' Cup, tried it earlier and was pretty impressed.
Well, hugely excited for that. Anyway, don't forget, the Gran Turismo World
I don't
Series
own the wheel,
not just here in
Pio.
London.
Not got
We're
that
going
one.
to Berlin. We're going to
Thank
LA.
you, JJ.
We're going to Fukuoka. I cannot wait for this. It is going to be hugely exciting. Jimmy, what's the stop on the calendar that's a highlight for you?
I don't know really. I mean, this one, because there's 2 hours from my house. That's quite nice. I mean, obviously greatest travel in the world, but jet lag, she kicks hard, especially for LA, especially for Fukuoka. But very much looking forward to all these rounds and to be finishing again in Japan. I think it's the right place for these series to finish.
Right before Christmas as well, we'll go and get a bucket of fried chicken afterwards. Why not? It's the tradition over there, isn't it? Yeah, looking forward to seeing what's going to happen then here for the Nations Cup Grand Final. That'll be along the way in a few moments' time. So now we know the grid, Jimmy. Does that give us any indication as to what we can expect for that race, though?
I don't know. I mean, like, the Grand Valley circuit, it's a tricky track to pass. I mean, there are a couple of big stops here, but if you're further down the grid, I keep mentioning Miyazano because he's my sort of outlier here, but if you're him, you're going to have a really tough time carrying through that field. But of course, a bit different this race. Strategy's going to come into play as well. So it's not all over for those who didn't qualify in the top 3 or 4.
But I was just about to say, for the likes of Adriano Carrazza, I mean, if he fell into a barrel of shoes, he'd have come out wearing socks after that one. He just seemed to have absolutely no luck at all.
What?
Let's have a look at the grand final race details, though. So we're back in the Red Bull X 2019. We're at the Grand Valley
Chris,
Highway 1 reverse
Legend,
circuit.
thank you for the gifted. Perfect aim as well, Legend. Thank you very much for that, Chris.
Hard, medium, and soft tyres. They must use at least 2 tyre compounds in this
Absolute
race.
legend.
Determined by the sprint, and it's a
30
30
laps
lapper as well. And I mean, look at that track map. You can see how many fast and medium speed corners are. The
Quite a
tyres
long
are gonna
one.
get
All
absolutely
tyres
hammered around
are.
Yeah, and it's
Oh, so you only have to use two tyres in this one, chat. Why do we not get races like this where you have options? Like, come on, PD, give us these races with options. Like, all 3 tyres, only 2 have to be used. It opens up strategy options. PD need to start pulling their finger out their arsehole and giving us these kind of races for dailies. Or like we said earlier, we need a daily race D. We need a daily race D where it's on every couple of hours or 3 hours and we have these type of races. Look at this, like, this is what I'm saying. Look at the strategy options.
Who's going to be able to conserve it better? This is what we think in terms of the strategy now. We've had a look at these before and they've proven to be, I don't want to say inaccurate is the impolite word of putting it, but drivers seem to sort of have a look at that and say, yeah, do you know what? I can go for 10 laps on the soft tyres. It'll be fine.
I
What do you
reckon.
think is going to happen, Jimmy, if you look into your crystal ball?
Oh yeah, Mystic Meg here. I don't know. It's a tough one because I think that we had such a long pit loss time, 21 seconds plus the stop duration. That's a long time in the pit box. And is
Could
that
they
really worth a couple more laps
two-stop?
on the soft tyre? So I think for me, the middle strat's the most attractive one. A bit longer than the mediums and have a fast stint on the softs at the end.
Do we
I
not
as
think they
always,
could
and the
two-stop
hard tyre
this?
here is lava. It's just so much slower. Than the
I
rest
don't know.
of the, of
I
the
don't know
tyre
if they
class.
could
It's so much
two-stop
so
with a
that
soft
even
and
here,
medium.
where it's most durable, in that
I
strategy,
don't
they
know
don't
whether
usually
it'd be
have a
possible to get 19 laps out of the medium and then do 11 on the soft at the end. I don't know. You'd have to be brave to do that.
Will anybody go for the hard tyre strategy? Don't forget about the winner campaign as well. In terms of what the vote looks like going into this race, well, despite not a particularly brilliant
6% with Jose Serrano.
Semi-final, not semi-final, I should say sprint race a few moments
Not many
ago.
of you listened to my advice, did you?
Still got the lion's share of the votes.
Not by a little bit either. 65%. Paul Euro second and Drummond in third there. So, I mean, do you reckon he feels that? Do you reckon he knows he has that sort of
Yeah,
level
feel
of support
that.
behind it? It must be some pressure for Joaquim Miyazono, who's recently been expanding his racing to the real world too. I've actually shared a circuit with him at the Nürburgring. Guy is very fast indeed. So Paul Euro there, also very quick, and Kylian Drummond, again, someone else we know is capable of winning races in these X 2019 cars. The field's just so strong this year, Tom.
Yeah, there's a real depth of competition, and keep an eye out for some of the outliers right towards the back. Adriano Carrazza's got to make his way through. Guy Barbara has got to make some progress.
There's loads of cars they could use, Chris. There's race cars they've never used. There's race cars on this game they've never bothered to use. So
but before we get this
there's
race underway,
plenty of
let's get
cars
down
they could be
on the
using that
floor
they
and
just
catch
don't
up with
use.
Jules.
Well, yes, it is now time for the
EFC! 58 down! Smash that legend out there for EFC. Oh, by the way, that's just reminded me. Turbo, are you still in the stream? Smash that legend out there for EFC, chap. I've just remembered with Turbo's... Turbo did a membership shout-out before. I think it was as we were starting the stream. And he had 68 Mom's membership. I was like, so unfortunate that it wasn't 69 because we hit 69 today. Smash that legend out there for EFC as well, chap. EFC and Turbo. Thank you very much, by the way, Turbo. I saw that you had 68 Moms. I was gutted it wasn't 69. It would have been perfect because you congratulated me on 69k. And you had 68 Moms. I was like 1 mom short. Yeah, thank you, EFC and Turbo Legends there. Hope you're well, by the way, EFC. 58 down.
Well, it all comes down to this then. The Nations Cup Grand Final is along the way in a few moments' time. Joaquim Miyazono, last few moments to try and get himself ready and focused to go for this race. But here is how the grid will line up. Lots of action to come at the Grand Valley
By the way,
Highway
chat,
Reverse Circuit in the
touch wood, has the stream been alright for the last 20 minutes? Has it been okay?
Paul alongside him, brilliant they both were in that sprint race a few moments ago. Kylian Drummond heads row 2, and he has got Takuma Sasaki, who made his way up from 10th to 4th at the checkered flag. Gallo lines up P5 at the head of row 3, and alongside him is Thomas
good stuff, EFC.
Next up, Takuma Miyazono, the reigning world champion, not been his day so far in the Nations Cup. Can he make forward progress from there with Angelina Stroza for company alongside? Guy Barbara just on the fringes of the top 10 and completing it is Kai De Bruyne.
Come on, Hodetti.
In the sprint.
Prove me right by saying that I felt like this would be Hosetti's track. I felt like this would work from this. Let's see, Hosetti from P1 as well, chap. That's when Hosetti's at his best, so...
on the hards as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think you take a stab at it, right? If you're not really at the front of the field, maybe just
do you reckon some of the?
Get rid of it.
Do you reckon some are going to go hard one stop and then softs at the end?
Out, but this will also be the first time the other competitors can see what their.
You lose so much time on the hard tyre though. That hard tyre is going to be really slow.
For that medium compounder tyre, so. They'll be looking to get some space at the start, but the Boutelet is going to be the cork in the bottle for the midfield.
Yeah, I don't know about that strap here. He's obviously going to do a one stop and go softs at the end, or he's going to go super aggressive and go one lap on the hard and do it. Is he going to do that? Nah, that won't work. Surely he wouldn't do one lap on the hard and then do. Would he?
This race. Very hard wearing of the
he wouldn't do that, would he? One lap hard and then go straight to the softs?
Is underway.
Keep an eye on the affiliate here, chap, because he could be doing something interesting with that strategy.
Sasaki Gallo all in tow behind. All of those top 5 drivers on the medium compound of tyre. Keep an eye out for Leboutelet.
Maybe like 3 laps on the hard?
Behind because he's in 6th place on the slower, harder compound, and it really does bottleneck up between these first couple of
I'm surprised no one at the front side softs.
This race means that Serrano leads from Jura.
Yeah, Gallo there just about staying ahead of the Boutelet, but as you say, really difficult through there.
Killian, look, already on pole.
That same bit of tarmac. Dumont there just sitting behind pole Europe for now. Guy Barbara already up 2 places, as is Kai De Bruyne on that soft compound tyre. Keep an eye out for Kai. He's the only one who's looking for that soft tyre early, so he's been very fast.
Yeah, reverse, same as what we've got for Daily City.
Oh, right now actually a little bit slower and struggling there on exit of the corner, getting those wheels lit up and the rear tyres spinning. Maybe not quite got the temperature in those medium compound tyres yet.
Well, the cars are great when they've got aerodynamic grip, but when they're in these slow corners, they're particularly difficult to drive because you haven't got the air flowing over the car, and there's just not the same levels of downforce that you would be contending with. Leboutelet, meanwhile, is dropping down the order. He's down into 10th position, so that's to be expected because he's on the
I think Affilian's had an issue somewhere. Looks like Affilian's had a problem somewhere because he's now with Cardinal, who he was 6 positions ahead, wasn't he?
For Kai De Bruyne, he's hoping
I know they're both on the hard, but there you go. Affilian's had the collision with Karatza. There you go. I thought so.
At the start of lap 2 for the race lead against Serrano.
Yeah, straight away, straight by goes Pole Europe.
So Karatza and Affilian have had an issue somewhere.
Comes into a very difficult braking zone down here into this really tight. It's more than 180 degrees of rotation through there. Serrano keeping second place.
Yeah, it happened to SDS as well, Russell.
Both the Spanish drivers said there before the race that
I don't know what's going on with YouTube. It's all over the place.
They fear. So trying their best to keep them there for now, but the first 5 cars all glued together, and De Bruyne up into 5th position.
Yeah, see this?
Progress there is Karatza on the got biffed by Miyazono into the back there. Did that cost him a bit of time? Well, actually, it helped.
Yeah, but wait, they hits him again. Does he hit him again?
Oh, Guy Barbara, hello, stage left, he goes through.
Wait there, there's got to be another hit here, surely, no?
That goes to show, when it all bottlenecks
there might have been another hit.
Tight and twisty sections, one mistake can cost you very dear.
Yeah, it can, and Miyazono there just getting things a little bit wrong.
Pole's got the lead
4th place
as well, like he's getting away.
Really
Pole is pushing away.
Of this soft compound tyre. The others are almost standing still by comparison now. Coming to the top of the circuit, it's a left hand. Next Kai's going to look up the inside. Can he make a move on Kylian Dumont? Not quite close enough for that, but he's going to have a great
Kai's
exit here.
not in a good position here, chap. He needs to be getting past these on soft tyres.
As you come across the start-finish line, onto lap 3 we go. Kai De Bruyne to the inside. See the indicator there flashing on Kylian Dumont. You say, you know what, mate? Go by. I don't want to fight you right now. And Kai De Bruyne now up 7 places.
That's not going to, Jack, we know that this doesn't work. Remember, we know that this strategy will not pay dividends because he's already fell 3 laps on the side. I've been here, I've done this, it doesn't work. Robert, thank you very much for the gifted membership, you legend. Smash that legend right there for Robert,
Dives his way to the inside. De Bruyne driving past Serrano like he was standing still.
You know what? I was saying earlier that he needs to make make the most of this soft tyre, and he's kind of doing it. He's just getting by people nice and
Trust me,
nice and quickly.
3 laps in, chat. So the problem here that Kai has, in 3 laps in, he should be 3 seconds down the road from the leader to make it work. At the moment, this is, he's losing so much time on the softs. He's doing laps a second slower than what he should.
Now, Babe on the inside, is he going to make it done? Kai de Bruin goes from
the grip advantage, this isn't going to work for him. I don't think this will work.
Laps in that soft compounder tyre, so let's see now what the Dutchman can do.
Well, now he needs to pull out a gap, doesn't he, with Yuri? He needs to stop fighting with him and use those soft tyres to the best of their advantage, because, of course, they're all well and good while they're in the great operating window that Kai de Bruin is in, but they do wear out very, very quickly, and the last thing you want is a set of tyres that's like chewing gum, because you won't be able to get any traction, any grip at all, and they'll be all over the shop. Jura is not going to take this one lying down, though, as we come through into the tunnel at the start of lap 4, and he's in the slipstream here, is Paul Jura. Can he take advantage of the fact that de Bruin doesn't have the hole being punched in the air in front of him? Oh no, he's not able to find his way through on the Dutchman, so now Kai de Bruin needs to get his head down, needs to pull out an advantage to be able to salvage something later on in this race, because presumably, being on those soft tyres, he's going to have to go a stop longer than some others.
I wonder if Josetti's saving fuel here, by the way. What was the, did anyone see what the fuel multiplier was? I do wonder if Josetti's saving fuel in P3.
For the long race, you've got to look into the future and not just...
Is Kaus there?
It's just having to find and lose that time. So,
don't think so. Kaus was in the stream before, though. He came in while we were racing. Times 1. Ah, no fuel for this race.
Kai de Bruin is now...
So that's Josetti's pace. Doesn't look great. Pole looks quicker.
Yeah, the rest of the field on the medium tyres from 2nd down to 10th, all pretty...
The only other thing that you could be doing, chat, is saving tyres.
Was that due to the contact with Jura that we saw on the last lap?
What?
Maybe? I mean...
What's Kai got a penalty for?
Let's have a look.
The stewards know better. What's happened?
Oh, it was earlier on. So it was with Guy Barber, who's going to biff it into the back of him.
That's pretty clear cut there. We missed that
one. That's a penalty. He could be saving tyres, chat. Josetti's really good at saving tyres. So maybe Josetti's just holding back and saving tyres. I don't know.
What a shame. Yeah, absolute tragedy there for Kai de Bruin, because he was driving so well.
Kai's not even getting away from them here. Look, chat. He's not even got away.
Here tonight, unfortunately, as we look at Valerio Gallo with a train of cars.
I've got a feeling this slipstream's on quite a strong setting for this race.
Serrano and Jura just up the road. This is going to go from a battle for second position up to a battle for the race.
That's going to screw him over, chat.
He's going to go through, or
his race is done.
He does just get stuck behind Kai de Bruin after the Dutchman has served his penalties. The question is now, though, has de Bruin got any life left in those tyres?
Nah, his race is over.
Of those top 3 once again. The problem is, as you said, Jimmy, all that hard work has already been undone, so now he's on the back foot.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where his race goes from here. I mean, he will still have that soft tyre pace, so he'll be able to get by these guys again if they let him do it. But now, they've let him by once before. They don't want to do that again, because they are also looking after their own race as well. And getting out of someone's way is always going to cost you time. But on board now is Kai de Bruin. Look at the back of Kylian Drumont in front. Now, this is really one of the better overtaking spots up here, this hairpin in this reverse circuit. So he might have a look here. There's a big lunge up the inside. Wow, big move there by Kai de Bruin. I think he knows now he doesn't need to make these moves. He was going to make this strategy work at all. But Drumont did well there to open the steering.
He ain't got a chance.
There's a nice dive to the inside there.
His race is over, chat.
Those tyres are going to be coming towards the end of their useful
His race is over.
In a couple of laps or so. So he really does need to make haste and try and pull out an advantage. He's all over the back of Jose Serrano's rear wing and trying to find his way through.
That slipstream's really strong, isn't it?
The inside is what he needs, and he gets it done into second place there for Kai de Bruin.
Yeah, nice from Kai de Bruin again, having to do it all again. Will Paul Jura do the same and just let him through? I mean, it's great viewing for us, having Kai just leave the field and, and go back through it again periodically, but for him...
That slip's really strong.
Oh, Paul Jura actually didn't see him coming. Kai de Bruin goes very wide there.
That slipstream is really, really strong, isn't it? Did you see how much he gained then on the straights?
Definitely there, and Paul Jura turned in, I think, to use an old adage that he got to the apex first.
I thought they weren't going to run a strong slip for this. Like in terms of
some aggressive dives
fair
to
enough,
the inside there.
get rid of the dirty air, but it doesn't need to be that strong, does it, for this one?
He should be a second and a half, nearly 2 seconds up the road now.
Their tyres are the same, so Josetti's not saving tyres.
A big disadvantage in a few minutes' time, especially on those rear tyres, which are, as you can see, significantly more worn than the other drivers behind, come towards the end of that stint.
So
Nah, he hasn't got a chance, Flexi. He's out of it there, man. You really think that Kai's got any chance here?
Kai de Bruyne isn't that soft compound tyre, but he's not utilised that to its best effort with the penalty earlier on.
He's out of this one, man. He ain't getting a top 5 from this. Nowhere near.
Right, he's still here. He's just in the back of his pack.
I think he's technically down in P8 or P9.
Kai de Bruyne, he's had enough of sitting behind the Dutchman. I think now Kai's tyres are starting to go.
He's going to be down to P8, P9 area.
Starting to wear, and there's more contact there.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter about the slip. He's in P2. Look how close everyone is, all the way down to P7. There's not even a second gap until P9.
Unfortunately, he just cost himself so much time.
This isn't not going to work from him, I don't think. Because he's then going to have to pit early as well. I don't personally think this is going to work.
But this is actually quite nice for Paul Jurek. He's got the buffer now to the rest of the guys behind him. So not the worst thing in the world to have Kai de Bruyne in between you, but still running strong at the moment.
Yeah, they'll do 2 stops, but
I often wonder sometimes
they're going to use the soft set at one stage.
But Joe White,
I don't know. My opinion, this is not going to work, but we'll see.
At swimming, certainly. Let's have a look at something going on behind. This was, Miyazono with a lunge to the inside of Sasaki, and Gallo, I think, was just a little bit slower than Miyazono was expecting going into that corner. Miyazono
maybe it's P6 maybe you can get to, but I can't see him getting better than the P6 from that.
Serrano for second position, but just nothing doing for Serrano at the moment. But you would imagine, again, Kai de Bruyne now coming on to lap 8. This is where we're expecting the soft tyre runners to come in, and de Bruyne being the only one of those.
That slip is so
they
strong.
Are significantly more worn than the others around him, and it's going to leave him vulnerable here. But I say that, he does get up ahead of Euro with the advantage of the slipstream, but has he got the grip then under braking to retain that lead? He does for now, at least.
Did he hit the bollard then?
They can make this tyre go 10 laps. The soft tyre. That will change the landscape of the race quite considerably.
I did say about a one-stop strategy, didn't I? Softs and medium. I don't know if it could work.
He's still in that little bubble of cars.
Do you reckon they're going for a one-stop strategy here, chap? Softs to medium.
Soft tyre, which is now starting to definitely fall away. His lap time much slower than the cars around him. Then he can still maybe make something of this, but it really does depend on the strategy of those around him. So right now, the race order is Kai de Bruyne, Paul Jura, Jose Serrano, Kylian Drummond, Valerio Gallo, and Kimi Miyazono, your top 6 at the moment. So we'll see if anyone else can progress from there.
Well, keep an eye out for the medium shot runners behind as well, because I wonder if someone's going to try and go for the undercut, because you can see how close they are just in terms of the timing screen on the left-hand side.
What's Kai's tyres on now?
Pretty much of one another. If you're Miyazono, if you're Gallo, for example, do you decide to pit a lap early, go for a faster compound of tyre in the middle stint, undercut everybody else when you're in clear air and just run your own race, get out of the dirty air, get out of the traffic, and try and make dividends like that, as we see de Bruyne then coming into the pit lane at the end of lap 8. So those soft tyres have cried no more. Where's he going to go from here, though?
So one stop is not possible then. It has to be a 2-stop, doesn't it?
Soft tyre and have a go at that. Now everyone is unleashed. Everyone's like, right, okay, here we go. Now they're fighting as we come down to the hairpin down the bottom. Drummond looking to the outside of Gallo. Gallo and Drummond now having a little bit of door-to-door contact, or whatever constitutes a door in this car. And Miyazono now being mugged by Sasaki on the inside. The two Japanese drivers side by side. So now that Kai de Bruyne's pitted, everyone's like, right, okay, race on. Here we go. And now things are starting to get spicy. And Kai de Bruyne, as we predicted, has gone on to another soft compound tyre.
Yeah, lit the blue touch paper there to Kai de Bruyne coming into the pit lane. Look at what it's caused. Jura has a big wiggle there and loses position.
He nearly lost that there.
And to Gallo down to 4th place. And Miyazono fits it into the back of him as well. Miyazono, he's in the wars here for this one. We've seen a few aggressive dives to the inside.
This is going to kick off.
Uncharacteristic errors from
the only way this could work for Kai, chat,
cost him a little bit here.
This group fight like crazy. Kai gets clean air now on the softs, so Kai's gone to softs. He gets clean air, gets himself 6 seconds ahead. These lot fight like crazy. That's the only way it can work for him. If these fight like crazy...
Tyres don't look to be in that too bad of a condition. They're maybe just having a little bit
I mean, technically it could work for him. That's the only way it's going to work out.
There you go. We've just seen right now. Apparently it's Miyazono's dream to visit London, so glad we can do that for you.
I was just wondering who's going to go into the pits. Guy Barbara's gone for the undercut here, hasn't he? So he's gone for the medium tyre. Now, where does he go? Surely it's going to be a set of soft tyres next up for him, or at least a set of medium tyres. Wouldn't go for the hards. That would just be I think daft, really, to be completely honest with you.
He's going to have to go softs and then medium at the end, isn't he? Because he ain't going to get another stint of softs in there.
Let's have a look at the replay here for Paul Euro and see where his second place came unravelled. So he's going through the right-hander, and he's just going to have a bit of a wiggle on the power then here. Big snap of oversteer and a big save there, but loses second and then loses third.
Well collected there. These slick tyres don't have any slip, really. You go over the grip threshold and you're having a half spin like that. So they did well to collect that. So
Gallo looks quick, but you can't really tell. The slipstream's so strong here that you just can't even tell.
Now he's staying with the Bouteille, which is good, a good performance here from our rookie at the moment. So we'll see what they do. They're going to get that hard out of the way. I think hard then medium for these guys. Surely one stop for the Bouteille and Cardinal, whereas everyone else seems to be opting for maybe a two-stop strategy. We'll see how that pays off for them.
See these medium tyres now are starting to get a little bit worn. A few missed apexes coming in from a few drivers here. So Barbara did go on to the soft tyres. He was the first of the medium shoulder runners to blink in this race. He's got a 4.5-second buffer to Kai de Bruyne in front. So that's working out quite nicely there for Guy Barbara. Can he use that soft tyre and the clear air to his advantage?
Gary, I thought it. Members only, mate.
You're pretty safe in these cars to not worry about the dirty air and so on and so forth, which will just save the front tyres.
The difference is crazy. If you look at that right on the back of him now, actually lifting the throttle, I think, thinking, I don't really want to pass just yet. You have to really pick your moment in these cars, because if you don't, you end up either spearing into the guy in front of you or just having this big
Josetti looks quick though, chat. Josetti's maintaining the gap at like 6-7 tenths, and
has to be calculated. And
with this slipstream, Josetti looks quick.
At the end of the bridge, no, he doesn't. Just staying there for now. Happy in third place.
Yeah, Valerio Gallo, former Nations Cup world champion, knows a thing or two about how it is to win one of these races. What about Kylian Drumont in second position as well? Again, he knows how to win a title, won it with Subaru in the Manufacturers Cup before.
The only way this works for Kai is if this top group fight like crazy.
The next round of the GT
if they don't fight, I can't see it working for him. He'll get mogged.
There we go.
And is one of the best GT drivers in the world. So I always think that's so interesting, because I can't do that. It's so difficult, but he loves it.
You see it often in rallying, because drivers say they get a better feel for the car when they're racing with a chase cam. But yeah, an interesting strategy in these single-seater machines there especially. So it's all pretty calm at the front end of this one. Serrano's been able to build out a 9/10 of a second buffer.
I'm just looking at the... So Affilian's going for a one-stop.
They've been squabbling behind.
And
they're just trying to work together.
7 seconds ahead of Kai.
Now Drumont goes
Kai's tyres are going to go again in 4 laps.
Drumont rather down into the first corner at the start of lap 12, and the Italian goes through.
Then Kai will go to mediums, but then Affilian will be on softs at the end. I don't think that's working for Affilian, is it?
Lock onto the back of Jose
I don't think that's working for Affilian.
They're punching the hole in the air for everybody else, and he's just being followed by this train at the moment. So Drumont doesn't seem too unhappy.
I like the car, but at some tracks, not all tracks, Thunders. But I agree, they should be doing some other. Do you know what would have been good here? Something like a hybrid race, if they could have got the BOP really close between like the Audi hybrid, the Toyota hybrid, not the newer Toyota, the TS050, the Audi and the Porsche, and got the BOPs really close. I know it'd be a bit iffy to try and do it for a nations race, but or even like Super Formula. You've got Super Formula car there. Why not use Super Formula for a race?
He's pretty much perfect to the second. If you have problems like he's had, it makes
there's more options, isn't there? There's Super Formula. You've got. You could even have like some like single make races with other cars, like from other groups. Group 2, like with a Group 2 Super GT car. Or, there's other cars you could use.
And everyone else has to stop again as well. So it has to be a really good stint, this one from Kai de Bruyne. But we'll see how that one progresses. Well, also, there's Drumont having another go at Gallo. Working together, I think, now.
Yeah, they've got to be. There's no doubt about it. The gap's down to under half a second. So these two just using the slipstream to try and take those chunks out of Jose Serrano and closing the deficit down.
Okay, so
I was just about to say the hard runners have surely got to pit before too long, and they come in at
the
start of lap 13. Now, where are they going to go in terms of
So they're doing 2 soft stints at the end.
The rules that says they can't use the soft tyres, but obviously it would be completely pointless to do that, because the time you would gain from it would be offset by the fact
I'm
that
not
they have to make another pit stop.
understanding the strategy.
Now both
Mediums.
going for the one-stop strategy.
All right, so he's going mediums to the end.
It's going to be the fastest one, but it's a great. I love this element in these races.
Ah, this is interesting.
In real life, drivers have a whole team to work this out for them. But
I mean, so Aphelion's gone hard and medium. Some are doing soft, medium. Some are doing. Oh man, this is interesting.
In my head, anyway, it's harder to do this and be fast at this than it is to be a driver in the real world.
So who's in the pound seats then in terms of tyres? Well, Miyazono's got a little bit more relative to Gallo and Drew.
Look how far behind he is, chap.
It's pretty even, Steve.
He's miles behind Kai.
Versus Miyazono.
I can't see that working. I can't see that working.
We saw him make a mistake a couple of laps ago.
I don't think that's going to work for.
He's just on the fringes of the top 5. So the race coming.
I don't think that's going to work for Aphelion.
Yeah, I mean, he's still in the fight. I mean,
he's too far behind.
You can still see first place and where he is, but he's definitely not enjoyed these worn medium tyres.
Josetti's got Killian right behind him.
Now he just can't quite get the car out the corner in the same way the others can. It's maybe a bit of a heavy right foot there from Pole Euro, but this is how close it is. You can see Jose Serrano, our leader, from this onboard of Pole Euro, who's in 5th position. And just like always in these Gran Turismo World Series live events, it's covered by no more than a couple of seconds. These guys are all so fast.
So, in my view, Aphelion and Kai are out of this. That's my view of this.
Maybe it is.
I know, Flexi, but look at the gap.
Anyway, looking at Valerio Gallo here in 3rd position, you can see
I don't think
a second over himself and Takuma Miyazono, but still,
I don't think it's going to work for them. Like, just my opinion, man. We'll see. We will see.
Territory. We've seen a few medium shot runners lurking a bit squirrely over the last couple of laps. The times are in the 1:28. Compare that to the soft shot runners who are in the 1:26s. The medium shot runners who are now in the 1:30s on their outlap as well. So
I don't think Kai's in it. I think Kai's going to get mogged. Kai will look like he's in a good position, but then when they're on the softs, they are all going to mog Kai everywhere. They're just going to fly past them.
To try and gain track position, come out in a bit of clear air. Obviously, the converse to that is they have to go a lap longer, maybe a couple of laps longer, compared to those who pit later.
Well, I did say that our only one-stoppers so far are Laboutelet and Cardinal, but they are now getting to the point as Drumont, for the first time this race, takes
I want to see their tyre wear. These cars at the front, I'd like to see the tyre wear.
So both Drumont and Gallo deciding, right now is the time to pounce. We need to get on with it. We need to get by Serrano and try and pull a gap. Because I think now, Tom, all these guys are on a one-stop. They're going to come in on lap 17. And that medium compounder tyre is at its limit, bolt on some hard tyres and just squabble to the end.
They're not going to go hard, surely not.
Drivers that are all doing the same strategy around you that you can kind
I don't think they're going to go hard tyre, are they?
For a lap longer.
Are they?
I've done the same. I'll do it for another lap and then another lap and so on. So if you can do that one stop strategy.
Surely they're not going to go hard to the end.
Two tyre compounds in this race. You can't
what do you reckon, Chat? Do you reckon they're going to go hard?
You've got to change tyre compounds. The question is, how long can you
surely they're going to go.
Can you get it so you can run a set of softs?
Surely they're going to pit lap 16 and do soft or something like that.
On the inside, and Gallo said, "Oh, thanks very much. There's a gap there as well.
I don't know.
I'll go through and into second."
Yeah, nicely well played there. That's how you do it. It's like a
I mean, it technically, there is a strategy that medium to hard will work.
Serrano hanging on. Interestingly, we looked at the tyres just a second ago. Serrano's tyres actually in the best shape of anyone. He's led this race for the majority so far. So not only is he fast, Tony Serrano, but he's good at looking after those tyres too. Good. Very good.
I mean, Serrano's got quite a lot of tyre life left on his tyres, you know.
On to lap 16 now. We think end of lap 17, all these guys are going to box for some hard compounded tyres. That's what I think.
Could they do what I'm thinking?
Before.
Yeah, hard tyres to the end of this one. When you've got soft shot runners behind and
they're
medium
not
shot runners,
I don't think they're going to go hard tyre, Chat.
The soft shot runners now coming into Brun pit at the end of lap 15. So he's gone for the soft compounded tyre. What did he start? He was on the soft tyre. He went soft. So now surely he's going to go medium, isn't he, for the end of this race? Got to.
Yeah, has to. If he goes in a hard tyre, he's got no chance. So it will be the medium tyre, I think, for Kai de Bruin. There it is, onto the medium. So I don't know. He'll have the pace.
I want to see it. Right, Serrano's got 43 and 27. Could he do 2 more laps? No.
Anywhere near
I think the rears are going to be gone.
He's a long way back.
Also, do you remember? Didn't remember the Spa race, Chat? Do you remember the Spa race in this car where you could run you could run this car with like 2% rear tyre. You could still run it. I wonder if they're going to go all the way here until the end and then put just one stint on the softs.
Because had he not had that penalty, I mean, what's the gap? 2.2 seconds.
I think they've got
in front, barring any other instance that he
I wonder if they could do it.
Come a cropper with. So it's cost him track position. It now means he's got to do the hard work on the circuit. But if he can dispose of Cardinal pretty quickly, it might bring him back into
it doesn't matter, Baz. We've had great support during the stream, Baz. So I still get my super chat and membership, like gifted membership monetization. So I'm not bothered about the ad revenue from this stream. Don't care about that.
That's a crucial point. They can all well be on a quicker combat of time, but if they've taken all the good bits out of them, they'll have nothing left at the end.
And look who's been quietly sneaking up the field. Takuma Miyazono
Chat, what do we reckon?
Up to P4 now. And in the fight
on lower fuel, could they get 10 laps out of the softs?
Our 2014 Nations Cup champion.
Could it be done? Like, could you get 10 on lower fuel?
Very, very close.
Because I wouldn't be surprised if one of these goes to lap 20 and then
a bit of a fist
softs to the end.
On the hard compounder tyre as well. We very rarely see these guys racing the hard tyres, so I'm quite curious to see what it's like for them. I know it's going to be slow, it's going to be tough. They are going to be on a lighter fuel load though, so it should be a bit nicer. But they take a while to heat up and they don't have anywhere near the grip of these mediums. So it should be a very, very spicy last 13 laps or so.
Yeah, 8 drivers all on the same strategy is going to be very exciting. Well, Takuma Miyazono showing why meditating to that pop song is a good idea before the start of this race. I want to say it's been a calm one from him, but the first laps were a bit scrappy, even by Takuma Miyazono's standards. So he's calmed down.
I mean, you're saving 20 seconds in the pit stop, so surely at this stage here, someone in this group, if they can get with just a tiny bit of tyre life.
For the right opportunity, does anybody dive into the pit lane?
See, I'm telling you.
So Miyazono into the pits.
I'm telling you, some of these are going to go for a one-stop onto softs.
To those around him.
Surely.
This could be a huge move here from Miyazono because these medium tyres, they really are on their last legs. The guys are doing.
I need to see what.
High 128, 129.
I need to see what.
Know the hard
I just want to see what.
Do a 28 on its own. So this might be a masterclass here from Miyazono, just taking that one lap earlier and going for that.
I need to see if they can do 2 more laps on these tyres. If Posetti can do 2 more laps, he'll go for 10 on the soft, surely. With lower fuel.
I think he's come out on his own as well.
Yeah, it's worked out nicely. He's got a 10-second buffer to Guy Barber in front, so that's absolutely perfect there for Takuma Miyazono.
I know, Green Crusher, I know.
From Kylian Drumont. Serrano was there in the background as well, but exactly what we saw last time as well. Down the start finish straight into the tunnel, into the first corner. Gallo, a decisive move there into the race lead for the first time.
I need to see the tyre life.
It's so cool seeing these guys race. I mean, we've been doing this now for, I think this is our 8th year of doing this. And these names, they keep coming back, and you just know, right, you've got Gallo, Drumont,
17 Serrano.
It's going to be a good race, and it always is. Gallo right now.
2 more laps.
He can
do it.
Rear tyres.
He can do 2 more, I think.
It's going to be a bit of a premium, so
I don't know, I think that would be worth a risk.
And try and avoid
and then onto softs for 10 laps. I think it's worth a risk.
We're going to see now whether Miyazono's strategy was the correct one.
No,
Gallo is continuing.
They're doing it. Onto softs, I'm telling you. These are going to try and do 20-10. I'm telling you now. 20 mediums, 10 softs. They're going to go for it.
Our drivers think different.
Miyazono's not a particularly brilliant
20? Because there's no. Why would they not pit? 20 medium, 10 softs. They're going to go for this.
Hard tyres then on for Kylian Drumont. Innistroza following the same strategy there as well. What's it like on fuel? Seems okay for them at the moment. Nothing really too much to worry about. But there is Miyazono. Has he managed to leap
fuel.
Those 2 drivers?
They've got under 50 fuel.
Up through and into 7th position then for Miyazono. And Drumont is still in front for now, but he's on colder tyres. Is Miyazono going to be able to take profit and go for the move on the inside? Not quite into there. So it's worked out okay for Miyazono, but not particularly brilliantly in terms of track position, because now he's got to find his way through.
No, only 2 compounds. They only have to use 2 compounds in the race, chat. I'm convinced, from what I saw, that surely if you could get the mediums to 20 laps, you'd do a one-stop and go softs to the end. Because your fuel's going to be so low, you'll get an extra lap anyway. And it'll just be a case of cruising around. Gallo's rear's gone, but Serrano can do another lap.
Now Serrano's going for a move. Don't do it now.
Serrano can do another lap here.
Also fighting for moves too.
Remember Spa, chat? At Spa, car, you could run these cars with like 2% tyre. Look, Serrano's doing it. He's doing 10 onto softs. Serrano is going to go. He might even be able to get 9. I don't know. Serrano's going to go onto softs. I'm telling you, this was predictable.
Where has Miyazono lost time? He's still not ahead of Kylian Drumont, and that, as you say, Jimmy, was absolutely critical in terms of the strategy for a potential race victory for Takuma Miyazono. He needed to leapfrog, and soft tyres for Valerio Gallo.
How are they not picking up on this?
As well, so they've decided to do a completely different strategy. Are they going to try and do the soft tyres 10 laps to the end?
We've not seen anyone.
Can we just have someone? We need someone there who knows this game commentating, because it's so obvious what they were doing.
Maybe this is the play. We didn't see us coming at all. Medium to soft tyre. So right now, Gallo is going to be able to drive right by these guys and just pull away and have a massive gap, and that might just be enough.
But Serrano and Yura even better, because they have got an advantage over these drivers, and they have got 1 lap fewer to do when they come in, because surely it's got to be at the end of this lap. So it's critical now for Valerio Gallo to get track position ahead of Miyazono, and look at how much grip he's got ahead of the Japanese driver at the moment. Through the right-hander we go, out of the hairpin, great attraction, track position on the inside. Surely he's going to dive his way through and into 4th. He does, so Gallo is up ahead. Now his next target is Kylian Drumont.
It has to do it, has to make these moves count now. Does Gallo? Sasaki's got on the same strategy as well, that soft compounder tyre. They need to get through very quickly, and now the threat for Serrano and Yura isn't going to be Drumont and Miyazono, it's going to be Gallo and Sasaki.
So now soft tyres for the top 2. 10 laps, they can do that. They can do that with the low fuel. They can do the 10 laps with the low fuel 100%. That's not a problem. Gallo's going to struggle. Gallo is going to struggle on the last stint, I'm telling you now. 11 laps, I think that's too much.
But where do they come out in relation to this pack? This is going to be super important.
They'll be behind this group. They'll be behind,
but they've also rewritten it as we come down the start finish straight then here. So where do Serrano and Yura emerge?
Well, they're obviously going to be behind.
So it's Gallo versus Drumont, and Gallo leads on the soft compound tyre, and now surely he's going to pull away from Drumont. What about Sasaki as well? Can he join in on the party?
I get stressed, chat, because it's obvious they're going to get an undercut on soft tyres versus dead mediums. But now, Gallo's tyres are not going to last. I don't think Gallo's tyres are going to make this. He had worse tyres than Jose Serrano in the first stint. Josetti's probably a little bit better at tyre saving than Gallo.
So Gallo now needs to take the best care of his tyres
I don't think Gallo's making it.
I don't know if this is going to be doable on that soft compounder tyre. But you know what? What I like is he tried it anyway, as has Sasaki. These guys have got to be clever, though.
But it's the drivers behind, Serrano and Yura, that are in the penalties. They've got 1 lap fewer to do on the soft compound of tyre. They've got 0.6 of a second of a gap to make up.
They're going to get past the hard tyres really quickly here as well. These 2 cars in front should be easy to get past.
Bring themselves right into contention in the closing.
He'll just send it on the brakes here. They're on hard tyres. This will be so easy,
as quick as they possibly can.
There's not even a point Miyazono defending that.
Last lap or 2 here. Serrano making that big move, and Miyazono has to do it up the inside. Goes Serrano now, rocking onto the back of Kylian Drumont.
And he's going to get Kylian here.
Flying together.
Why did Kylian go hard tyre?
Through the field. There goes
I'm
Serrano
so shocked
up into
that he did
now,
that.
and in pursuit of Sasaki and Gallo. Paul Ura's going to use the 60 following through. They both go through. Oh my God, contact at over 200 miles an hour, but they all somehow managed to keep pointing the right way.
They should be able to get away from the hard tyre now, because I just can't see the hard tyre being able to cope in the middle sector.
Serrano versus Yura, then they need to work together here to close up onto the back of Sasaki.
I don't know why Kylian did that strat.
Between Sasaki and Serrano.
I just don't get it.
At this point, 1 lap newer tyres between them as well. Is that going to be the difference between winning this race, or is it going to be a battle for the podium?
My maths say that those rear tyres from Gallo and Sasaki will not last. I don't think they're going to get those to the end. And as you say, Serrano and Yura, who just waited that extra lap, that might be the difference between victory and defeat here in the first round of the Nations Cup. A reminder,
I want to see what we need to see now is the tyre life, because Gallo surely is going to be in trouble.
You care about being on that top step of that podium, and it's going to take some wrestling away from Valerio Gallo, I can tell you that now.
It's working out quite nicely here for Labusle. He's right on the back of Miyazono. Meanwhile, Serrano looking for a way through of Sasaki, who parks the car on the apex of the corner. These two both on the soft compound of tyres, to remind you. But Sasaki, 1 lap older.
Yeah, 1 lap older, same as Gallo. He's going to try and defend this. If I was Josetti, I'll play this calm, save my tyres, because these two are going to be screwed on the last lap.
Inside then of Gallo at the start of lap 23 and to the race lead.
There you go then, so people making the moves early, and you have to wonder, is them squabbling going to be the way? So by my maths, it's about 8.
Let's have a little look at the tyre life, please. We need to see the tyre life.
Here, and Gallo and Sasaki have to do 10 laps. So
yeah, not easy at all there for them. Let's have a look here at Ura in the slipstream. So down into the first corner. This is Ura's move on the inside.
Oh, nice move.
It was so close between them. And as you said, Jimmy, how on earth they managed to exit the corners in the same positions that they entered, and indeed in the same direction that they entered, was remarkable.
Easy peasy. No, don't want a day's work for these guys. So right now, Gallo actually starting to fall off the back of Sasaki a little bit.
Sasaki's trying to pull the pin here, isn't he? He's got to do this if he's going to try and challenge for the victory, because if he starts squabbling with the likes of Gallo, it's going to bring Serrano and Ura right back into play. Sasaki needs the lap of his life to build out enough of a buffer so that when those rear tyres fall off a cliff, he's got enough in his pocket to hold on to that race lead. But look at the difference already in terms of the lap times. I know the top two was
look at the gap to the hard tyres, they're gone.
But 25 compared to 26
look how gone they are. Like, I don't get what can.
Why did Gallo's got the ultimate pace right now? I mean, like, he's in the tow right here. Serrano opting to stay out of the tow and have a bit more of a slingshot, I think. Right, here we go. So we're on the tow. Gallo on Sasaki. Serrano we're on board with right now. Pole Euro you can't see is just behind us on the circuit. We're snaking through here. I think we're going to stay where they are. Serrano, I think he thought about it for a second.
Serrano's saving his tyres. Did you hear that? He lifted off the throttle so early to not brake aggressive.
No point.
Serrano's just saving the tyres, I think.
It is that still leads.
Listen to the tyre. He came off the throttle so early, so he's just coasting in and saving tyre life.
Zono, meanwhile, still in front of now De Bruyne, who is in front in turn of Laboutelet. So Laboutelet must have had a moment last time around, because he was right on the rear bumper of Miyazono at one point. Not quite sure what has happened to the Frenchman there, but either way, he's now dropped some 3 seconds off the back of that final points-paying position. Just a reminder, points all the way down to 6th place, and these 12 drivers that are here in London will also be going through into Berlin. They'll be here for the rest of the season, so all these points are absolutely critical in the Nations Cup as they come through into this left-handed hairpin. It's the car before the storm, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, just something's going to give at some point, and it's going to be.
What we need to see is the tyre life to see what Gallo's tyres are like. Is Gallo ever going to make this?
Serrano he's going for a dive,
and Paul's going to follow him.
Through on board, Pole Euro up into, is it 3rd place? No, 2nd place with Serrano, and they're side by side behind Gallo and Euro bumping wheels as we go down the straight. Euro using
Josetti just gave Paul the slipstream.
Did
you see that?
These guys are thinking in 5D, aren't they? It's not just about their race, it's also the race of their teammates around them.
And they're challenging for the race lead against Sasaki now as well, who's coming under pressure.
He gave
Paul
the slipstream. Honestly, I probably would have gave Gallo it, because Gallo's got the older tyres. But they're obviously friends, so.
Out of the tunnel and into the daylight once again. Serrano.
He's going to get these gone.
Sasaki now challenging for the race lead. Does he dive to the inside to the left-hander? He does. And Serrano goes through. Is the door open for Euro there as well? Sort of. On the inside,
5%. The rear tyres are nearly, what, 8%? Yeah, 8% on the rear tyres.
And Euro just
Gallo's
has to wait.
done good job on his front.
Goes for a lunge on the inside, but runs it deep. Sasaki's ready to come back
Made the
through
corner.
there, but no door is open. And now it is Serrano versus Euro for the victory in this one. And Serrano's got 9/10 in his back pocket.
A huge move.
He's going to catch that up though with the slip. He'll catch him up with the slip.
The same thing. Can't quite make that one stick though for now. And Gallo he knows that if these guys get away, that's it. There's no coming back from this one. But that was a great move from Ura. Just sat on the apex, gave Sasaki nowhere to go. And now, as you say, Tom, it's Spaniard on Spaniard. This time, I've got a feeling they aren't going to play so nice.
No, this is going to be very
I'll tell you
interesting
what, though,
between these two.
Is Gallo going to make this to the end on the tyres
chart? The sprint race a few minutes ago. Are we going to see the same stakes, though, here in the grand final? You would imagine it is going to be a much closer affair, and I would imagine a much more aggressive affair, because points mean prizes, and every point matters, even in the opening round of the season. The question is, though, who's going to get the final podium place here between Sasaki and Gallo, because it is pretty even Stevens between these two in terms of pace right now.
On board with Gallo at the moment. I have to think, does he have a response to this? I'm not sure he does. Both his and Sasaki's tyres are looking pretty second hand at this point. I've still got 4.5 more laps to go though.
I want to see. We need to see that graph with the percentage of like this remainder now. I would love to see the remaining percentage all the way to the end for the tyre life.
I wonder whether those hard tyres are going to start coming into their own. Over the course of one lap, they are significantly slower, but over the course of a race duration, that is when the hard tyres will begin to pay off. There's a fair gap to catch up.
Killian is like 10 seconds behind. They've got 5 laps to go, mate. They've got 4 laps to go. He ain't going to catch them up, Tom.
If
I'm sorry, man.
unravels between these top 4, as we have seen it do so, it could bring Drummond, maybe Miyazono.
Let me see if I can turn the telemetry.
Position up the order.
I just think it's because of the fighting we saw in that lap. I don't think the pace is quite there for the hard tyre. But as you say, Tom, for Sasaki and Gallo especially, they're going to really start struggling in a couple of laps' time with this.
Killian might get Gallo. Killian might get Gallo. But he ain't going to get anywhere near the top 2. The top 2 are okay. They're gone. But Killian might get Gallo purely because of Gallo's. I'm not 100% convinced.
Sorry, having a fight.
I'm not sure Gallo's going to make this to the finish on the tyres.
He's not close enough, is he?
I have a feeling that his tyres are going to be gone before he gets to the end.
What do we do now?
They're sort of in no man's land, aren't they, really? This is the problem. That's the risk with going.
I think the last lap Gallo's tyres might go completely, and if your tyres go in this car, chat, I don't know if you've ever seen what happens with this car, but if you lose all percentage, you are going to go on a very nice spinning journey through the corner. You are a goner. You can't control this car once they go. So
that tyre's got enough in it, and
if Gallo's tyres go, he's out. That's what I think. I'm worried about Gallo's tyres here.
We look at last lap time. Serrano 26.5, 25.9 from Euro in the toe. There's a 27.1 and a 27.0.
Oh, Gallo.
Oh, there you go.
Lunges to the inside for third place on Sasaki. Sasaki left the door pretty firmly open there, so maybe he wants to be the follower rather than the followee at this point.
To give you some sort of number to the rear tyres percentage-wise, we might have a graphic for it soon. But Gallo right now and Sasaki, their rear right tyre on 32% apiece.
Oh, that's not good. They've got 3 laps. I mean, they might make it.
Down the start finish straight we go. Cardinal gets a warning for bump drafting.
That's going to be close for Gallo.
Here in the GT World Series, it's his first event, so we'll give him the grace of it. But a warning is one step away from a penalty. 10th position currently for Sam Cardinal, newcomer to the GT World Series. Let's see what impact he can make later on in the championship, because it hasn't been a particularly fruitful evening for him here tonight.
The pace of Serrano in Europe, they really have just opened the taps now. They've put 3 seconds on Valerio Gallo, who is not a slow driver.
It's the 1 lap. The 1 lap fresher tyres. I feel like Gallo made a mistake, but then I think his tyres were gone. I don't think Gallo had the tyre life on the medium to do the 20.
They've worked together like we saw them doing in the sprint race here. They've just not been, diving up the inside, sending another driver wide, taking 7 bells out of each other. They've worked together to build up that buffer to now over 4 seconds, which has worked quite nicely.
And they have worked together. But
here
comes your question if you're Serrano and Paul Ura. Who wins this race? Because we're coming in now to the penultimate lap, and Ura is, I'd say, probably in the better position. He's got the toe, which means pretty much an automatic pass into the first corner if you're in about 3-4 tenths or so. Right now, though, I think Serrano is aware, like, I need to actually try and pull this gap out a little bit. So we're now going to see a bit of a fist fight, I think. And these guys, as I said, they are compatriots. They are part of that same Nations Cup victorious team in 2023 when it was a team game rather than a single driver. But right now, they are enemies. Who will win? Well, in a lap and a half, we're going to find out.
It's a mental game here between these two, and Serrano closes the door there on Paul Ura. Well, the door was never really open, was it, to be completely honest? But Ura closes up onto the back of him, and he's just trying to find his way through, trying to sniff out where Serrano is a little bit slower over the course of that lap. Look at where his weaknesses are. Maybe send a dress rehearsal to the inside.
Yeah, Wind wasn't quick enough to qualify against these.
Only
4 drivers. Only 4 drivers in EU qualified, chat. Wind is in the top 4, unfortunately.
Win of the year here in London. Jose Serrano, your leader. Paul Ura in second place. And with only a lap and a half of this Grand Valley reverse circuit to go,
I mean, I think
anyone's game. Ura, of course, needs to find
I think Gallo's gonna. I think he's gonna make it on the rears.
1 or 2 more chances to do that.
Josetti's got better rear tyres than
very slow
Paul.
there. Euro deep, actually.
I think Gallo's going to make it, you know.
Euro has a slightly worse tyre than Serrano in front of it.
I think he's going to make it. I mean, he's got 16 left there.
Top of the course, and this, I think,
it's going to be close at the end for Gallo, though. He's going to be sketchy.
De Bruyne's going down the order as well. I think he's had a problem there, down into 7th position, just behind now Takuma Miyazono. So out of the points there for him as we come on to the start of the final lap for the grand final of the Nations Cup here in London.
Nations is harder to qualify, Richard, than Manu.
As we come
Nations
into the first corner, Serrano defends Euro, looking for the outside line. That's going to be brave.
You've got, like, I mean, just look at this lobby now.
Brilliant from Paul Euro if he can make it stick. Side by side they run
very difficult
into the
to
braking
qualify
zone.
for
Serrano's got
Nations.
track position. Euro's off onto the grass on the inside. He's got the line though on the inside, but he switches to the outside line with the next left-hander, and somehow Serrano retains the lead.
Oh my
Euro's
God.
got the toe though down here. This will be the last chance in race.
Defend,
When he goes inside the pole, Serrano looks for it, doesn't quite make the move stick. Serrano goes deep into the braking zone. Will he now get the cut back into the right-hander? Euro takes a wider line. Serrano sits on the apex there. Stops Euro getting the power, but a slight wheel spin moment. Euro looks to the outside. Again, he's alongside. Just can't make it stick. He's wide.
He's no doubt. Oh, it's so hard though when you run it deep though, because it switches back to that left-hander, and it just gave Serrano enough track position. Half a lap to go then here.
This corner.
Serrano
He's too far behind. He can't send it from there.
Final in the Nations Cup. And laps to the inside for Euro. Can he make it stick on Serrano? He slides. Is that moment over? Is that victory over for Serrano? For Euro against Jose Serrano. It's advantage Serrano with just a few corners now remaining.
Serrano then, I think, maybe called the bluff there off Paul Euro, just about managing to take the win away. Maybe one last chance for Paul Euro.
It's going to be a drag to the line between Serrano and for Euro then, between the two of them. But Jose Serrano pulls a blinder and wins the grand final of the Nations Cup here in London. It's Jose Serrano on top, Paul Euro in second. Valerio Gallo will take third ahead of Takuma Sasaki. What a fantastic end to that race. It has absolutely destroyed my vocal cords as Jose Serrano destroys the competition here in London.
If you're anyone else but a Spanish GT driver right now, you're probably thinking, what do I have to do? Gallo there
SDS hates the noise
did really
of that
well,
car.
I think, to make that soft tyre last. His right rear tyre was on 3% when he crossed the line in P3. Sasaki in 4th place, Drummond 5th, Miyazono in 6th there.
Good race, good race.
A strategy that I didn't even think of was the one that was victorious today. Making that medium tyre
race,
after
wasn't
that
it?
first, and then going to the soft tyre and just managing. And man, what a great race between these two competitors. Great respect, you can tell. These guys are respectful racing. They know each other. They know how they're going to treat each other. It's just awesome to see.
Yeah, I would like to see some different tracks being used and some different cars for these races. Definitely.
Paul Euro, Kylian Drummond there in 3rd position as well. It was a pretty scrappy affair.
It's PD all over, isn't it?
This race.
Always the same type of combo.
For a brief while as he ascended through the order.
They don't understand variety, and
his race came
that's where they go
when he
wrong.
picked up a 3-second penalty for colliding with Guy Barbara in the opening stages. We saw a similar slide there for Paul Euro, which cost him track position to Kylian Drummond in the opening stages. One wonders what his race may have looked like but for that mistake. Then we saw Gallo making his way through on the order as the pit stops began to work out then here. Serrano and Euro pitted a lap later than Gallo.
The one stop was away, wasn't it? I did wonder if they could get 20 out the mediums. That's what I was trying to figure out. And
challenge for the race victory, because they had fresher rubber and greater pace underneath them, and as such they were able to side their way through on Valerio Gallo and Sasaki and build up a buffer to those two to challenge for the lead in the closing stages.
Yeah, it's a move that Paul Euro put on there, and we got on here. This was the decisive move, really. Euro and Serrano going side by side pretty much the entirety of the first sector of this last lap here. A little bit of contact between them, but they still managed to stay there. And in the end, it was this move that sealed the victory for Jose Serrano. Euro just going a bit deep.
He lost the rear.
Work, just let up the rear tyres, and that was that. You see a little smile there from Serrano, thinking, yeah, you know what? I earned that one. I'm happy with that, and awesome to see this respect there between the two countrymen.
Yeah, brilliant job from Jose Serrano and for Paul Euro. Clean, fair, and aggressive racing from those two. The upshot is by just under 0.3 of a second, Jose Serrano claims top honours in round 1
did not work
of the
for
Nations
Fillion,
Cup
did they?
here in London ahead of his compatriot. Valerio Gallo on the podium as well. Sasaki, Drummond, and Miyazono all picking up some points here this afternoon. A couple of drivers very unlucky to miss out on that one, but an absolutely phenomenal race.
I like the strategies,
Let's go down to Jules, who's on the floor.
It did look like it was all about
and
saving
catch up
tyres.
with our finishers.
It was just that ability to save tyres, wasn't it?
By Valerio and Paul right now, second and third place. Valerio, talk us through your strategy on that, because it was an interesting one.
I don't know.
just play it by ear. Just turn up, drive real fast.
Nah, for
hope
real.
the best.
I think that I played clean today, and that was my main goal. And I know for myself I have a limit with this car, especially. So I'm okay with that. I'm also happy for Paul and Jose. They did an amazing job. Also, you know, extending the medium stint. Actually, it was a mystery because we went so long for the medium stint that we didn't know if we would actually make it. And yeah,
No, we were the same.
I'm very happy anyway, and I want to congratulate to everyone. It was an amazing racing.
It was a good race, right? I mean, that was pretty intense. So, Paul, it came down to
Finian got the
final
strategy
few laps.
wrong. That's what the problem was.
That was okay. So you're waiting,
got the
you're
wrong
biding your
strategy.
time. What were you kind of thinking? Like, how nerve-wracking was that? Because it was pretty nerve-wracking to watch.
Well, in the first team, we were like 6 or 7 guys with the mediums, including Valerio.
Yeah.
So I started to push, you know, to try to break the group, but it was impossible with the slipstream. And then on lap 10, I realized I had to save my tires if I wanted to get to the soft, I had to save tires. So I went back, I dropped back the group. I started to save my tires, and then I saw them pitting for hards at 18, 19, and I thought the same as Jose, like until 20 not pitting, because the softs only lasts for 10 laps, and it actually worked out very well.
It did work out very well, but those are a spicy last couple of laps. That was an incredible race. Let's thank them both. They did incredibly well, as did all the drivers. Let's check it back now to Tom and Jimmy for points.
Cheers, Jules. Many congratulations to Valerio Gallo and to Pol Ura. Of course, the race results do reflect the point standings here tonight. The upshot is Jose Serrano takes 6 into Berlin for round 2.
Strategy.
Pol Ura with 5, Gallo with 4, Sasaki with 3, Drummond 2 points on the board. Miyazono
Strange strategy as well.
Point as well. I think Miyazono will probably be a bit disappointed given the pace that we've seen from him in these cars in the past.
Yeah, it just didn't quite come together for him, did it? I think that medium to soft strategy was the one.
At least I got it right for Nations, chat.
Valerio was saying down there, I don't think anyone really knew they could do it until they did it. So, but not a strong start for Takuma at all.
Absolutely. Well, then let's catch up with our race winner. What a drive from Jose Serrano. Calm, controlled, and clinical. Let's catch up with him. He's down with Jules.
Yes,
kill him.
I'm joined by winner Jose Serrano.
Wrong strap.
Jose, how was that race for you? It was great to watch. Was it fun?
Yeah, it's really fun, but it
See,
was also very tough, especially with
I'm wondering if Killian's tyres, were Killian's tyres, in what condition were they in when he pitted? Could he have done what like these did? Could he have done the same strategy as Paul and Josetti? I just,
the last couple of laps.
I'm just not so sure why he pitted when he did onto the hard tyre.
Come for you, like what? How were you feeling?
I'm worried, yes, but I'm very confident with Paul. He's so clean. He's my teammate. So yeah, so happy with the result. With the
Josetti speaks English, eh? Not amazing English, but even on GT Sport, he used to pop in here sometimes, didn't he? And he could speak some stuff in English.
Spain are so dominant. What makes the Spanish great drivers? Because you guys are always up in front. What is it?
It's a secret.
London style? I mean, I don't
there you
think
have it.
so.
Okay, all right, we're going to chuck it back up to Tom and Jimmy. Big congratulations to Jose!
Jose Serrano, the winner of the Nations Cup World Series.
Really interested to see if I would love to know what Killian's tyres were like compared to Josetti's and Paul's.
Is it Valerio Gallo or is it Jose Serrano, the winner? Jimmy, if we were offering this one, who would be your driver of the day?
Oh, I don't know.
Period.
I think they all did a good job. I mean, it was just, I think I would, could I pick Ura and Serrano, because they just played it so well together. I mean, Serrano obviously came out on top in both races, in the sprint and in this one as well, but they worked together so well. It's a mature decision to do that, and it paid off massively.
No, we're finished. We did a first stream already, Giorgio, so
both of those drivers.
We're not doing anything after this.
And a credit to Valerio Gallo as well for holding
It's dinner time for me, mate. It's nearly 8:30 at night. I've not had my dinner yet, so.
Are then ready for the podium ceremony to begin.
After this is finished, I'm getting some food.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in third place for the Nations Cup for World Series 1 from Italy, Valerio Gallo.
I feel like Gallo will be fairly happy with that, probably. Not overwhelmed, but...
Great drive from Valerio Gallo onto the podium for the first time this season.
Yeah, I'm starving.
And in second place, please give it your all for Spain's Paul Ura.
It has to be Josetti for driver of the day. I mean, he literally
and the winner
won.
Of the opening event of the Gran Turismo
He
World
won at
Series
Le Mans and
Nations
then
Cup
won
in
at this.
2025 from Spain.
This is
Jose
Josetti's your driver of the day.
Serrano.
That's the only driver you can pick.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to please stand if you're able for the national anthem of our winning nation, Spain.
How old's Josetti? So he's like 23.
Well, the national anthem of Spain plays out for our winning nation here tonight for Jose Serrano. And now time for the trophies to be presented. The Senior Director of Publishing for PlayStation, Tim Hodges, will award the third place trophy as he makes his way on
when
to
was he
the
born?
stage
2002?
here in London. Shakes the hands of our top three competitors. And the third place trophy is awarded to Italy's Valerio
28?
Gallo.
Hang on a minute here. Where's the maths? If he was born in 2002, he ain't 28. Did you go to SCS? I'll ask you again at Bahamas. Have you been to SCS's School of Maths?
Here in London, our top three competitors on the podium, and the second place trophy to be awarded to Spain's Paul Ura. And finally, please welcome the Gran Turismo series producer Kazunori Yamauchi onto the stage here in London. And he will present the winner's trophy to none other than Spain's Jose Serrano!
He can't be 23 though, can he? Because when did Josetti... Hang on a minute here. Josetti raced... Didn't Josetti race in the... Well, no, he didn't qualify until like the second or third season, did he? Or third? No, it was towards the end of GT Sport, so... I'm trying to remember when he qualified on GT Sport. Listen, what you cheeky little sod funders. Hang on a minute here. What are you trying to say? Are you trying to say that I'm going... That's my year of birth at 82. That's when I was born.
Well, there you have it.
I said that before,
round
Paul was
one
like...
of our Nations Cup.
It's the stress of Gran Turismo, Damien. It puts you under a lot, the stress of Gran Turismo.
Racing. Spanish dominance. Once again, Jimmy.
I'm not really surprised, to be honest. These guys had it sewn up from a sprint race, it seems.
So he's only 23 then.
And then they just executed it, and that was it.
Super Spaniards.
Thank you, Funders.
Actually, brilliant drive from both of them. Great strategy.
You recovered from that one, mate. You recovered.
We knew the gloves were going to come off right at the end of that one, but it was clean, it was fair, it was respectful. It was brilliant.
Love that. And well, it's been some
All right.
amazing
So he's not 23 yet.
Round 2 in Berlin and round 3 in Los Angeles. Tickets are on sale now, so if you're watching from somewhere around the world, maybe it's not too far, maybe it is far, you should just come because it's been a good day, right, guys? Yeah! See? There you go, fully recommended from a London crowd. And we are quite snobby about how we spend our time because we have all the options, okay? We have all of them. Are you excited for Berlin?
I mean, obviously. I mean, it's a shame it's in September. I kind of want to go and do the next one now. But
Can't
we've got
we
a little while to get ready for it at least.
Can't we have a little one in between? Where can we go?
Just a mini.
at home?
Yeah, it's a little
Online.
mini break or something. Why not?
Told
Go
you,
away
it's the
together.
stress of Gran Turismo. It makes you go grey and bald.
You can't fault the racing here tonight. Manufacturers' Cup, Nations Cup, perfect.
Well, it's now time to say goodbye. Thank you so much to
Before
everyone
I
from London
started
for
Gran
joining
Turismo
us.
Sport
It's been
Chat,
wonderful.
on GT
This
Sport
has been
I had a full
Round
head of
Nations
hair,
Cup.
like
We
in the
will
start of
see you
it.
next
So if you didn't see
in
me,
Berlin.
loads of
Bye.
hair. I could like, you know, all the way down here, no receding hairline. Started playing GT Sport and it all just fell out. Yeah, I had a full, like, like Kevin Keegan. Oh dear. PlayStation. Right, chat. That's gonna do us. It was fun. It was good races. It always does deliver on some good entertainment, though, doesn't it? In fairness, it was quite enjoyable. So, yeah, it was a decent race. Nations was probably a bit better than. I mean, we're saying that Manufacturers was okay, but yeah, it looks like strategy was what caught some people out in Nations. It was quite entertaining. It's more entertaining than F1, definitely. Yeah, that's not hard though, is it? Let's be brutally honest. Yeah, Kai got a bit. I think the strategy as well. I don't know. Where did he end up in the end, Kai? P7 or 8, something like that. Wrong strategy. It was never going to work, though, was it? It was never going to work. I think some people thought that the top... I had a suspicion they were going to one-stop that from when we said, could they make 20 laps out of the medium? When I saw the strategies, I was quite surprised they didn't put that as an option. Because the thing with the X 2019 is you can drive them right to the very last bit of life, and then they just die. So you can't drive them very low on the tyre. I remember Spa, loads of people were doing it. So I was quite surprised that they didn't put that as a strategy option. But yep, it worked out the way to do it as medium to soft. And Rossetti and Pole best on the tyre saving, weren't they? They did a good job. But yeah, that is going to be it for the day streaming chat. We did both manufacturers and nations. It looks like YouTube eventually fixed its awful servers towards the end. It didn't seem to have many issues once it got going. But yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, by the way, on the second stream on your way out, because I'm off to get some food. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. We hit 69k today, so that was nice. But I'm off to go and get some dinner with the missus and chill and watch some TV. Might stream tomorrow, might not, because it depends. I want to try and get the dining room painted where I'm putting my setup soon. We'll see. Maybe a stream tomorrow, maybe not. If not, it'll be Monday morning, as per usual, with the brand new daily races. So I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you all for coming in, by the way. We ended on 6 likes away from the 200, by the way. So get that like in there, chat. Helps me out. And yeah, I'm going to head off there. I'm going to head off and get some food. So thank you all for coming in. Any new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. And yeah, maybe live tomorrow. If not, we'll be live Monday, chat, for the daily races. So have a great evening. Thank you very much for the insane support with the gifted memberships, the super chats, and also the PayPal. Thank you very much for that, legends. Have a great evening and enjoy the rest of your night, everyone. Take care. Bye.